Everyone loaded into the Roll20? Should
Yes.
be in a cave. The only things you should be able to see is a used tripwire, a goblin pinned to a wall with a scythe. All you should be able to see right now. And your characters.
That's all I can see. Right up to just here.
Alright, if everybody's ready, I will do the summary since it's been a while.
Yep.
Your group is in their graduation exam before you start service. You have done the first task of your mission was to investigate a mansion that seemed to have weird sightings of undead. Since then, you've traveled to a quarry where you fought a particularly strong hobgoblin captain. During that combat, a goblin wizard, which you've fought twice, but we fought once before and found the body of another one, ran into the cave where immediately you heard him scream out and a loud thud sound. After that round of combat, you saw two kobolds bust out of what appeared to be the solid rock wall. They looked at you, they looked back, they went, nope, and immediately went back into the walls, assumingly not seen since. You all, instead of resting after the combat, decided to rush into the cave. Once in, Harris joined you, and you have found a used tripwire and that same goblin wizard pinned to the wall and bleeding out, dead from what appears to be a wall scythe trap.
Okay. And we're in. Okay. Smoke. If you could go further down just to see if there are any more traps. Because I don't think that goblin ended up activating all of them.
Smoke looks at you, goes, You sure you don't want Bren to look for them with his face again? As he walks off.
Nah. It's your turn.
Alright. Now, when you say that, we're going out of game right for a second. Do you want him to inspect this trap first to get an idea of what the traps are like, or do you want him to just go down the hallway?
I want him to first inspect this immediate area for any additional traps, because I basically said, not going much further than the goblin. At least initially, before then just searching further.
Okay. So, I need to remind myself that I modified Smoke a little bit, so I need to open his character sheet. I apologize. It's the one thing I forgot to do.
I want Smoke to inspect every single square of this area. Everywhere.
Okay.
The whole dungeon. Every single square we come across.
I want Smoke to tell us how he loves us.
That's not going to happen.
So you have Smoke eat his Wheaties.
So, I am going to have... We don't want an investigation check, then. We want perception check. We want a wide look. Smoke rolls a 10. I don't see any other traps in the immediate area.
All right.
Good.
You want to just quickly check that scythe trap just to see if there's like a pressure plate right by it, or...
You want Smoke to investigate the trap to get an idea of what these traps are like.
Mm-hmm.
To hopefully lower the DC of other future traps.
Yes. First thing, check to see if there's anything else around. If he doesn't see anything, examine what we currently have.
Okay. That roll? There it goes. This is he speaks out. This is a crude trap. seems to have been made in a hurry. It hasn't been disguised very well. I'm surprised it killed anyone, but it has been sprung, and there doesn't appear to be anything else attached to it.
All right. Keep your eye out forward and look for more traps as we keep going further down.
Okay. I am not going to allow a blanket anytime look. I'm going to have you tell him when.
Okay.
As we move forward. Okay?
Right.
All right.
Wait, hold on.
What?
He moved 2 squares. That was 2 investigation checks I wanted him to do. If I have to tell him each time, well, I want him to do one. Nope, there's another one. Do an investigation check.
I am trying to get him in the line of sight of more of the cave. Stop it.
Come on, Harris. Come along. Come on.
Reveal area.
Bryn
Alright.
pats her lap like she's talking to an animal. Come on, Bryn. Come on, Harris. Come on, boy. Don't worry. There's nothing scary here.
I remind you I'm your advisor and am determined if you pass or not.
I'm gonna rifle through the goblin's pockets.
You don't find too much. You find, sadly to you, you find a health potion that has just been shattered.
No.
He has a couple of copper on him, but for the most part, he doesn't have much.
How much?
Besides that, as you guys round the corner, you see
Hold on. You can't just say he has a couple copper and not tell me how much copper it is.
he has 5 copper in his pocket.
There we go.
There we go.
These
His
are the
robe is just cotton. There's nothing. It doesn't seem to be treated. You can tell with a glance that it's not magical. Oddly for you, considering you've seen it twice, he doesn't have a stick of magic missile on him. His staff is just essentially a piece of old dead wood. You if you want, give me a nature check to find out what type.
Okay.
Bingo.
It is a red oak. You don't know where he got it, but it is definitely red oak.
23 on that check. I better know where that goblin grew that tree from.
You have, even on a crit, you can't crit skill checks. It is an impossible check, a 40, to know of a place in the wilderness of which you have no knowledge.
Fine.
Look,
You know it is red oak from the smell and from the texture of the wood. It's not particularly valuable. It is a crude magic instrument for him to cast his spells through.
Okay.
Very well. We should move on.
Yep.
As you round the corner, you see the water starts to get a little bit deeper. You see lily pads in this cave water. You also see it gets much more stagnant. The smell of stagnant water is starting to become overpowering. Other than that, you see a rather large stalagmite.
Yep, that's the right one.
Coming from the ground and hitting the ceiling. Other than that, there's nothing visible in the area.
Neo, can I see maybe gauge roughly how deep this is, assuming the water is even clear enough for me to see the bottom?
No,
as
you
it goes
would have to
deeper.
walk.
Okay.
You would have to walk.
It's too grungy to look through. Okay.
Yeah, it is way too grungy to look.
Okay, worth a shot. Smoke. You mind quickly taking a look through this area here just to see if there's any traps or maybe something hiding under the water?
Okay, show me with your arrow where you want him to search for traps.
Okay, so he's like up here, so initially like looking around here-ish for like maybe any traps.
Alright.
And looking around here to see if there's maybe something hiding under the water.
Okay. Rule that as a deception. Ooh. I don't see anything. See him walk over and kind of shoot an arrow into the water. And it just goes plump, but very quickly you vaguely hear a tink. He takes out his sword and he puts it in the water. And it you surmise it would only go up to like your it's not knee deep. It's halfway.
Okay.
Halfway between your feet and your knee is about how deep it is.
Okay.
In that area. You see him then step into the water here, and it's barely on his boot.
Okay.
And he walks down 2 steps, looking forward.
And 2 investigation checks later.
Okay, if you want.
I know, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
No, it's fine. I have no problem with it. I understand this is a weird system. It's just, I know where everything is. It's wrong for me to be calling for them. Gets a 15. In the immediate area of him, he doesn't see any traces of anything. There's nothing in the water. He doesn't smell anything in the air that would be like a poison. He does point at a rock against the wall around here that seems odd.
Cool. So investigate it some more.
Okay.
Before he does anything, could I do a quick nature check to like get an idea of like the rock, like if it looks like it's just like a rock that somebody tried to put there, if it's like maybe something that's naturally like worn down and someone tried reinforcing?
I will allow a nature check for this. This is not a dungeon. This is a natural cave. It's a rock.
It's a rock.
It's a nice rock, but you can't really tell if it's a natural rock. It definitely belongs to the cave, but you can't really tell if it's been placed there or not.
Oh well.
Right? He walks over to here, and he's going to investigate. Oh God! There we go.
I low rolls are good, right?
He pokes at the rock. You see, Smoke's normally a very cautious cat. It's very odd to see him just basically pull out his sword and poke at the rock, and as he does so, this happens. You see from under the water line, and then what is covered up by dirt, a tripwire. How do I do this? Oh, here it is. Now, he hasn't triggered it yet, but his sword has halfway cut it. It is in the process of triggering. So if someone would like to do something,
okay, we can see it.
Try to aid him in preventing this trap from going off.
Okay. Okay, so we can see the tripwire, correct?
Yes, you can see the tripwire. In fact, I will, since he's there, will allow you to see all this. You can see that is a very long tripwire that goes all the way across the wall.
Okay. And just a quick question, like this stuff here, this is like a step up from like the water, correct?
Yes, it's just a small step up.
Okay.
Where Smoke is right now, he's at half between his. He's up to the top of his boot. In other words,
okay,
it's halfway from his foot to his knee.
Okay.
Essentially, just for the record, anything that's green is going to be deeper water. Anything that's the color where you are right now is going to be the lighter water.
Okay. The kind of like ankle
the
deep.
Shallow. Yeah.
Okay. So like he's like in the process of like
Okay,
cutting
tick,
something.
tick, tick.
Stop.
Does
Fall
anybody
back.
else?
Fall back.
Okay. So he moves back. Oops. Oh shit! I'm on the wrong thing. I better not move that back, or it's gonna get you. All right. Move. He moves back, and the trap goes off. And you guys watch as from the ceiling, a bunch of caltrops drop down into this area, covering the area.
Oh. That's going to be
Some
annoying.
of them plop into the water, making it impossible to see where they are. But you know they're there. But the ones on the land, you can see them. They are caltrops. They will cause you damage for walking through their space, and you will move at half movement.
Okay.
Or you can try to do a dex check to move through the space normally and not take damage.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to uncover. What's wrong? No, you keep going.
Okay. Would you allow me to use my spear and just try and like swoosh it back and forth as if it was like a broom under the water to try and move things around?
I mean, you can try, but that's gonna be a pretty high check. I'm gonna need a wisdom check out of you, just straight wisdom. Are you proficient in wisdom saves?
I am. Wait.
Then you'll get your proficiency with that. So that's a 20 what?
Oh, you said roll a wisdom save?
Yeah, that's fine then.
Okay, then that would be a
got
26.
24. You miraculously, you don't know why, if the tip of your spear has some magnetic property or what, but you start just chucking caltrops one after another onto the land.
Okay. I'm not gonna go nuts and go everywhere. I'm just gonna try and like make like a decent like.
And you
walk path.
start, and you actually reduce the size of them. They're now just on the land, as far as from where you are.
Okay.
You just systematically go through and just chuck them up onto the land.
Okay.
You are pretty confident you have cleared off any ones that were in the water.
Okay. Quick question though, is like the tripwire, is that still there or?
No, it's tripped. I don't
Okay.
I don't have a token for tripped.
Okay. So we'll just like.
If I haven't covered a tripwire and told you the trap is sprung, it is essentially.
It's dead. That's my mark to indicate it's dead.
Okay.
Okay. So, smoke. You mind quickly checking like right between like the tripwire here and like the stalagmite down there. Just quickly check for traps.
Forward on to where it is. You don't hear him cry out ow. He seems to be trusting the fact that you got rid of the traps. And you will do another perception check. Clear. I don't see anything. You see him do a much more in-depth look than he did the last few times. He is looking at the walls, he's looking at the ceiling, he's looking in the water and actually swirling it with a swordlet to break it up a little bit to give a clearer view. He is confident in your immediate view. In his immediate view, let me reveal everything he can see from where he is. There is nothing there. He also says he sees traces of a blood trail around the corner.
Okay. I think we should probably get onto some dry land. How's that sound, guys?
Works for me.
I would like Simone to do a will save. This is a self-will save to see if you will actually put your body into this murky water. I'm going to say, yeah, no, above a 10. You are very hesitant It is nasty, filthy. This is not your type of thing.
I like to imagine that he has like a handkerchief right up to his nose.
Does Simone have a handkerchief up to his nose?
No.
Okay. But will you be moving forward?
Simone's a lot less nonplussed about this than he should be from the way he's acted before.
Okay. And I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of the tripwire. It's across the thing. It's a pain in the ass.
Yep.
You see Smoke move forward and onto the land. He goes right to here. He says there's some mighty long, big blood trails going through that water from the land.
Okay, is like the blood like floating on the water, or is it kind of like
there is whatever is causing it has put enough blood in that water. It's changed the murky color from that to a dark red.
Okay.
1 second. From where you are, I need to see. You see blood trail. Most can't you see under it? You see over it. You can't see right behind that thing. But from where you are, you see a bit more of the cave. It seems to loop up to the north, and there seems to be some type of two to the north from your perspective.
Okay, so looked like two things were dragged and okay.
No, it's just two flows of blood.
Okay,
that
so
are
two flows.
intermingling and not. It's a huge flow.
Okay, it's probably still in the realm of nature, or would this be medicine? But how many? Yeah,
This
how many
one
people
you would have to get close, and you would have to do a investigation, and then if that was high enough, it would be followed by a medicine check.
Okay. Smoke. Is that a skeleton up there? Right there?
You should. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna say Smoke move forward. Yeah, he sees a corpse, and since Smoke has moved there, because I fucked up, my fault.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like
there is a corpse pile. It is massive, almost to the ceiling. Of just there's goblin corpses, there's kobold corpses, there's a lot of human corpses, and all of them just thrown together. The blood splatter is all in this little cave. Whatever the goblins have managed to kill, they have brought it into this cave to go through. Later, you don't know.
Nope, I don't vomit, so that's a good sign. Probably. Let's be honest, I don't think we've ever seen that many dead things in one pile. It's probably very, very, very...
It's close, but most of the flesh was gone to that pile you saw in the bottom of the basement mansion. Most of that was bones, though. This has been sitting in this stagnant water. These are rotten, bloated corpses that are just leaking their fluids, mainly blood, but all of it into the water for that area.
Just looking at that, they've probably been decaying for a while. I don't need to go close.
I will allow you to do let me think. I will allow you to do a perception check if you want to try and count the body. There's at least 20 in there. And that's not that's just
all
20
I can see.
human. That's not counting the goblins. You every time you count a goblin or a kobold, you discounted it. There's at least 40 bodies in there.
Yeah, and that's just what I can see. That's the worst part.
Some of them are buried. Some of them you don't know them. They might be decayed. There are clothes. These are not as the only token I could find for a corpse file, these are not all naked bodies. There are clothes. But it is all nasty.
And I can only imagine just how nasty it must smell.
Yes, it as you turn that corner, in fact, the stench of the stagnant water became decaying stagnant water. It smells like you are in the middle of a swamp. Now.
Okay, so not the worst smell in the world then.
No, it's if you've never been in a swamp where there's a lot of decay. Yeah, no, it smells nasty.
I trust you have some personal experience with that.
Not too much, but I know what it's. So
it all depends really on the water.
Yeah,
that too.
This is not deep water, so most of the smell is just rotten flesh. All right.
I think we should avoid those
bodies. What are
bodies.
you guys doing?
Let's avoid going to those bodies. And Smoke, you mind just quickly checking further down at this hallway down here to right around here? Like, check to see if there are any other traps or if anything, any other dead body.
Smoke moves right in front of you and does another perception check. He doesn't see anything really. The water here is very murky. You see him put his sword into the water and stir it again, but he doesn't see anything this time. Again, he's saying it's fine.
Okay. So again,
I like the idea of just Simon is he knows what they're talking about. He doesn't want to see it himself.
Okay, so like once again, like this area here, like probably like almost knee deep at most. This kind of water?
No, that's
right.
That's when he put the sword in, it's a little deeper than the other area, but it's not nearly as deep as the lily pad area. It would probably go cover half your boat.
Okay. So all right, so calf deep. Okay. Well, I take a step down.
Stop. Give me a dex save.
Not hit the tool. Uh-oh.
Okay. I wanted you to know the DC for this is 14.
Yeah.
You missed it by 1.
Yeah, fair enough.
You in the stagnant water, which honestly it was going to be very hard to see no matter what. You find your foot trips another tripwire. And from the ceiling, fortunately, it was only just you, but a massive spider web plops down. This is unbelievable. This is collected from God knows what, but you are encased in it. You are slowed, and without help, you are going to start to suffocate.
Okay. Okay, initially like a strength check. Try and force my way. Try to break it out.
Delete the tripwire and put this on the map layer. Nope, you're struggling. You just wrap it around yourself more.
Little help. Little help.
You hear Smoke go, "We might need to cut him out." And Smoke starts trying to cut you out.
How many spell uses left? Oh my god.
Deplorator said media.wizards.com.
Smoke. Does anyone else act at all?
Okay,
I'll help. I'll cut her out with an ice sword.
Because I was honestly thinking about whether or not I should use my spell Flame Sword and cut my way out, but I only have like one more second level spell use for my character right now.
Do I need to make an attack roll?
Smoke fails. He tries to cut into it, but his dagger is either not sharp enough. Something's wrong.
He stabbed me.
No, he didn't stab you. I'm not gonna. He loses his dagger though. It gets caught up in the thing.
I slice it with ice sword.
You slice a good bit of the webbing out, and you can see him.
Yeah.
Maybe with some help, you might be able to pull him out, but he's still stuck in there.
Is it
Then
at
I
least...
punch the webbing.
Okay, you punch the webbing. Please give me an attack.
Please be good.
Okay, somehow you don't get your hand caught in the webbing and you punch it and push some of it out of the way. Roll damage.
It's a monk thing. It's a monk thing.
You push a little bit of the webbing off of him. His entire right side is free now, but he's still got one arm in the webbing.
Yeah.
Is it at least enough to prevent suffocation, or am I still covered enough for that?
You know, you're fine for breathing. You just have an arm trapped in a giant wad of webbing now.
Okay. I'm going to try and start pushing my way out. Now that I have a little bit more leverage, I'm going to... Is there something, like, within arm's reach that I can grab that's, like, solid, like a rock thing? Something I could...
Bryn?
Reach out arm to Bryn. And we...
Bryn, alternate arm.
And I try...
Yeah, I'm going to constitute this as the help action. You'll get advantage on your strength check.
Thank God.
You pull yourself out. Yep, over to there.
She's just starting to, like
There's
shake all over her
just
body,
a
spitting.
Ball of webbing now. 1 second. I have to go to map. I made it a map object so it wouldn't cover you up. Just a ball of webbing now up against the wall.
Okay. Okay, like, I kind of assume, like, after I get out of that, I'm just shaking all that webbing off myself, probably, like, spitting.
There's a little bit left on you, but nothing that's impeding their movement.
Getting enough of it off.
You don't fully understand what that trap was for, but it was probably just to capture something weak. Fortunately, you had friends to
Help me out.
prevent that. Yeah.
As after Catilla clears herself off of all that webbing, she looks at that and kind of has like a oh shit look, and starts immediately looking around to try and hear the sounds of like any spiders or something around, because generally where there's webbing, there's spiders.
Always. Not if it was webbing found by no, there's no sound of spiders in the area.
Can't fault my logic.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are looking up the path, and you notice further in the path you're starting to see light. So you know you're coming near the end of the cave.
Okay. Smoke, would you mind just quickly checking like this zone here out to see if there are any other traps? Because I really don't want to step in like stagnant rock water. Just like this here area here at first.
As you start to say that, you notice that Harris has started moving up as well. All right. Show me the arrow again. Just in the water?
Specifically like here. Like this area here. Like just that immediate area, because she does not want to go into like the rot water again.
Okay. Does a perception check. He actually takes his short sword out and he walks across the stagnant water, and there's nothing in the water. He doesn't trip any traps. He doesn't do anything. He keeps walking and looking forward, and he doesn't see anything in the immediate area.
Okay. Move up to here. And, okay, our angle would be blocked off by that stalagmite, so we couldn't see beyond that. Okay. Okay, you mind taking a quick look right behind the stalagmite? Just
as you pass, you can see light coming from behind this, up from north, coming from here, just all the way along.
Okay,
there's
so it's like
there's
an
opening somewhere to the north, but it's fairly close.
All right, so it's like coming in this direction. Okay.
No, it's coming in from. How do I do that? select. Measuring.
Yeah, they changed what it
Coming.
looks like.
It's just coming straight down.
Okay. Okay, so it's kind of like those rays of light you see like from a window in the mornings. Okay. All right, I got it now.
All right.
All right. So, Smoke, you want to quickly check right behind the stalagmite up here, because I think we're getting close to something.
Okay. I wish you had phrased that different, but you didn't. Smoke moves forward twice, right outside the area where you told him to check, and he triggers a pressure. Now, fortunately, you're out of the range of it.
Yay!
As a hatch opens up, and a spurt of fire shoots out. I'm going to fucking have to do a save for Smoke. The only one who is actually in range of the fire. Go. Like how everyone, Bren especially, is just like, no, I'm staying back.
I mean, Bryn was okay with the mansion.
Oh no,
she found
Smoke.
the mansion.
Smoke definitely just dodges to the side and completely the fire misses him.
Ooh, he has evasion. Good.
Yes, he goes. This was a one-use trap. It's whoop. You suspect those kobolds have been in here for quite some time, putting up traps at this point. Whatever this, can I get intelligence check from every? Is it intel? Would it be intelligent? Wisdom checks from everybody. After that many traps, I think you guys would all start having You have no clue.
Yeah, as soon as I see a 1, I immediately assume that's the first roll.
Simon, you're the one to actually pick up on this. You think whatever is on the other end of this cave is probably, considering where you thought you were on the map, you suspect the goblin portal is at the end of either at the end of this cave or just outside the cave.
I hope he relays that to us.
I mean, were we not expecting the goblin portal to be inside this cave? Do I have to relay that? We literally came to the cave to find the goblin portal.
Well, at least we know it's closer.
I'm trying to say you suspect you are about to be where it is what I mean.
I believe we are coming close to the goblin portal.
All right.
Yep.
Let's
back to object
move forward.
20 wisdom to figure that out.
What?
Needed a 20 wisdom to figure that out.
Well, I mean, it's more of you were deducing from all the traps and everything that this cave is the last defense before. Okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
What do you see, Smoke?
He sees God damn it. Doesn't want to work. There we go. Sees the exit. And with his passive perception, he sees a little mound of dirt and essentially a glorified bear trap put on the ground.
That's cute.
Okay, so now Smoke, go and walk into it. It's fine.
Fuck you.
We love you too.
He pulls out a stick. He goes up to the trap and triggers it, making it not useful.
Looking at the bear trap, what's its quality like? Does it look nice, like rusted scrap?
Oh, it's very rough. It is.
It's like rust scrap.
Yeah, it is. It is not. If you tried to take it to sell it, it's not worth a goddamn penny.
All right. Oh,
It is a very crudely made trap.
oh well, there goes a free potential hunter's trap. Oh well.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not worth anything, but you could take it with you if you want.
Just looking at its quality,
Essentially, it's mostly wood. The spring mechanism is made of rusty, crude metal, and the spiked jaws are just essentially, from what you can tell, sharp rocks fitted into the wooden jaws.
Okay, so there's at the very least a very limited risk of poisoning from like rust.
It is not a well-made trap, and since you are a hunter, it will not last much longer.
Sounds probably it's mostly just a big paperweight.
Yeah, it was probably just thrown here as a, yeah, we got this trap, whatever.
Disappointing.
But you see the exit.
Yes, she takes the bear trap and just chucks it into the water here.
All right. Smoke goes to the exit. Doesn't see anything yet. This is
Okay,
right
so
there.
Alright, let's see up part of the map. Alright.
All right. Harris calls you 4 over. Before you go, he pulls out his holy symbol, and he if you have any injuries, they are healed. Each of you will get 1 spell slot of your choice back.
All right.
And you have 10 temporary hit points.
Question, Harris, is this going to affect our final grade? What you just did?
Consider this a boon for work well done.
Okay, thank you.
Right, you get a spell shot of your choice back. For
get...
you, what that means is you get any key points back that you've used without a rest. I don't know if you used any in the battle with the hobgoblin, but you probably did. So you get your key points back. The druid and the monk. The druid and the bard each get a spell slot of their choice.
Yep, I regained my 2nd level spell slot, so I have 2 level 2 spells now.
Smoke gets nothing because Red's not here.
Yeah, he's outside of the range. It was a 5-foot burst from the character. Sorry.
All right. That's all he does, and he says, "When we exit, I ask that you all hold for a minute. I must check on something."
Okay.
And all 3 of you, I want you to make a history check as he holds up a badge. Something you would have learned in military history class. No, you all recognize this is the seal of essentially what is Grant's highest intelligence agency.
So he's a spook.
He is essentially a ear to the he has the king's ear, is what you know from this badge.
Okay, so the intelligence agency.
Yes. I am sorry for using you, but we have been in need of a goblin portal for a little while. And depending on how stable it is, I may be sending something through.
Okay.
You are not to tell anyone of this. This is a highly secretive mission, but you have proven yourself during this journey.
Those weren't our orders going in.
No, they were not.
So
he shows you the badge again and says, "If you learned what this means, you know this badge supersedes any orders you were given. I know you like to be a smartass, This is not a time for that. You will finish your mission after I have completed mine. Do not worry. I will make sure we will not be discovered before you have a chance to do what you want.
Okay.
And with that, Harris kindly walks off to the next map.
What levels dispel magic?
I say we follow him.
Yeah.
Smoke says, that badge. Likely we should follow what he says, at least for now.
Smoke? You have no rights. Come on.
And he turns to you and goes, that badge is what I see. He moved off.
So he seeks to pickpocket it from Paris. That'll
That
be fun
badge
to see.
means
He-
absolutely nothing to me. It's a system.
He seeks to become intelligent, is what he's trying to tell you. Okay.
Actually,
I don't know if this is what Red intended for the character, but since the character's going away after the next map, I don't care. All right. Everyone moves forward. And on to what should be the last map of your mission. You all appear within the rocks here. Hidden by the rocks.
All right, I think I see it.
Harris moves right there. Brent, Diplo, are you able to place yourself?
I'll see in a second. Boop boo do do do. No. Yay.
It's there.
Thank you.
Smoke is. All right. You see Harris look forward. What you see is a rather large area. And as you guys step in, you hear in Goblin, fuck! And smashed right above you, you see a goblin just mercilessly. Can you see this goblin on this rock here?
Yeah, we can see the goblins of the
Yeah.
rocks.
Mercilessly. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, it's blood splatter as well. Mercilessly splatter into the side of the cave. Just, he's wrecked. Dead. You have no idea what? And then you hear Harris very quietly say, that's not a good sign. This must still be an unstable portal. I guess I won't be sending the full team. And he raises his hand to 3 fingers. As he does that, something none of you have been able to watch, but it seems to have been following you. 3 out of 10 clouds show up right around you. Mist clouds. 3 of them break off. Harris salutes them, and you see them travel into what you can see from where you are, a shimmering blue portal. And they disappear in. These other 7 fly off. My mission is done. You have not been discovered. Let's see if you can finish your exam.
All right.
I have many questions about what that mist was.
Well, I will let you do a military history check. In this case, just a history check.
Bryn also wants to see what happens if you throw a Harris into the portal.
I don't think he's going to go near.
This is going to be a high check. This is not common knowledge. You have no clue.
Harris. Harris.
Bren, I suggest you be quiet right now. I think there's something up ahead.
Can you touch the portal?
If that is your ask, I can dispel the portal once we get to it.
No, touch it.
No, I do not risk to touch chaotic magic portal.
Okay.
Okay. Do I want to go
So
wild
it's
shape or
time
now?
for you guys to decide what you need to do.
Do I want to go wild shape or not? Guys, do you think?
Well, there's nothing around for us to fight.
Also, Flux, did you want to dispel something on Harris?
No, I was gonna fuck up the portal, but now that he seems to be okay with the portal being destroyed, I'm no longer interested in it.
Oh, okay.
I move forward, and I'm going to make a perception check specifically to try and hear if there's anything out there, like maybe snickering or anything moving in the brush.
Okay. Go ahead. 20's not bad. The sound of the portal is deafening. It may be a nice soft blue color, but it is a turbulent blue fire you see. It is very loud roaring, but you do make out the sounds of some heavy, labored breathing from behind the stone. You can't quite tell what it is, but you know there are two distinct, and they are very large.
I'm gonna head back to the group. Okay, guys. It sounds like there's.
You also let me finish. You also see littered on the rocks goblin bodies covering them, assuming similar cases of that one, which you now surmise came from the portal and was catapulted out to its death. Seems like travel through these portals is very risky.
Yep.
Okay. That's what you've learned.
All right. So, sounds like that there's at least two really big things near the portal. And based on the corpses, you probably have surmised that these things were just launched out of the portal like a cannon. Unfortunately, I can't exactly identify what exactly that's the two things that were breathing outside of them being big. So, be ready for anything.
Yep. Ready for anything.
All right, so how would you like to move? Are you going to try and sneak around to the back side, or there is a bunch of makeshift thrown together supplies, thrown together tents. There is all goblin. You could tell from the construction they're all goblin. From the front there is a wall of stone that blocks full sight of the upper. There seems to be a wooden path made from the front. You can kind of tell that if you go to the back there might be a path.
Okay. Smoke, if you could, would you mind?
What do you as a group want to do?
Okay.
No, you can send Smoke on his own, but I would like to know.
All right. So,
Squad leader,
yes,
for the upcoming combat, would you like to go offensive or defensive?
offensive.
Very well.
All right.
Smoke starts to sneak off around.
Yep. I tell him to go sneak around the back.
1 second. I need roll his stealth check, which he actually has pretty good. Smoke disappears into the brush, as far as you guys can tell. He's
Right.
And
Okay.
I'm going to move. This is where he ends up, but you guys have essentially
Lost sight of him.
2 rounds to get to where you want to be before you have a little bit to figure out what you want to do.
All right.
And then I'm going to tell you when Smoke rounds that corner.
Okay. Judging by what we can see, it looks like either we go around the back or maybe on the side. My thought is this: if we could try going up the path. Actually, can we see roughly like up here that there's like a path as well, or that's not really visible to us?
That little wood right there? Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, like this.
That's not really a path. That's just forced perspective. It's
Okay.
still wall
Okay.
over there.
So basically, as far as we can tell, we either go up the stairs here, or there's this back area here.
You suspect there's a back area because you see the wall start to go down from this side of it. You suspect there is a path. You can't fully see it.
All right. Well, what I'm going to suggest is this. I suspect we only can go up the stairs, so let's try and, be quiet as we go up the stairs and sneak our way up. At the very least, my hope is that whatever is breathing hard, it's more focused on, maybe catching its breath or going on second wind, or than immediately seeing what's on the stairs.
Bren, what are you doing?
I was thinking that's where because we want to sneak around, right?
Ask Smoke to sneak around.
All right. Bren, you give me a stealth check. That you're trying to sneak around as well. Nope, you successful. You can move up to where Smoke is if you want to. You are very slowly, very sneakily using the high grasses and the small rocks. You are inching your way up. As Kiri talks, you guys see Bren apparently just kind of dive into the grass and sneak around as well.
All right.
So I can move and sneak further.
Yeah, I said you can sneak up to where Smoke is.
I don't see Smoke.
Should see him. He's right
Oh
here.
no, I see. Okay, now I see him. That was weird. Yep. Hi, Smoke.
Since you moved there, you see poised waiting for you.
It's a lord.
Two ogres and a goblin wizard. They are trying to hide behind the stone, waiting for someone to get near.
I assume we cannot see Bryn and Smoke.
You two don't know they exist yet. Bren and Smoke.
No,
I was
saying that we can't see Bryn and Smoke.
Can
No,
Bryn
you don't
use
know where
sign
they
language
went.
to communicate that
Yeah,
they should have
Bren
Harris go
failed.
to the portal?
Bren has failed to communicate to the team leader that he was going to sneak around as well. Essentially, Simone and you are standing there with Harris talking.
Yeah.
Simone, is there something you would like to specifically do in this moment?
Yeah. 1 second.
As your leader is trying to talk, as Castella is trying to talk to you, is there something you would specifically want to? Now, you know that there is something in the area. You do not know what or where.
Well, guess what the fun little spell Simone has that's been fucking up goblins all throughout this campaign?
I
know
it is.
Has a nice 20 radius.
Is it sleep?
Sleep.
Okay. Roll me them dice. What level?
I don't roll.
Yeah, you do. You roll 5d8, and that's the total hit dice of the creature.
22 hit die.
22 HP.
Yeah, equals 22 HP. Unfortunately, you don't hear any thuds.
Don't know why you'd guys sleep on 2 ogres.
Because we don't know it's ogres.
I think he was trying to take out the wizard. He didn't know about the wizard, but he was trying to take out goblins. He is actually role-playing. You don't hear any thuds. And since sleep doesn't have any visual effects, that is essentially just a mind effect. They're not... Bryn, you don't see them react weirdly at all. You see one of the ogres and the wizard kind of yawn for a second and then go back to being ready for combat.
Okay.
And I hear the yawns.
Yes, you've been listening out. You hear 2 yawns, and you look at Simone.
Well, would you like me to light it up?
I give a thumbs up.
Make them deck saves, bucko.
Okay. This does have a visual effect, so I'm going
Oh, it does.
Everybody else, I need you to roll initiative while I do deck saves for 2 ogres who are more than definitely going to fail.
I like to imagine that it's like a firework and that there's a pew, then no sound.
I've always imagined it like just glitter falling from the sky. It's like sticky glitter that sticks to fuckers.
Yeah, like those glitter bomb things.
Oh god, it's glitter with glue in it.
Can't touch me this initiative round.
Oh god damn it. So that was number 1 ogre. That was number 2 ogre. And now for the wizard. They all fail. They are all glowy and give advantage to attacks against them.
Look like a Playboy mansion under a black light. Have fun, buckos.
And you hear 2 roars and a goblin command. Get them!
Do you mind putting the turn order up?
Oh yeah, I am so sorry. I forgot all about that. It's been a couple of times. All right, there we go.
It's fine.
And I need to give how do I give people I have to click on your token? And I have to
Well, both me and Diplo are in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Simon got a 23.
And Smoke
I put
gets
that
a
in there.
Q.
And I need to do add a turn.
Did Smoke roll at all?
I have to roll smoke and the monsters at the same time. Apologize. I should have been rolling already, but I
Go,
got
go, mighty
caught
smoke
into the-
ranger. Mighty morphin smoking ranger.
Smoke got an 11 on it. Weirdly, that went to that instead. So
Well, I see
I'm
an
glad
11
Smoke-
next to his name.
Yeah, he fixed
well,
it.
Yeah,
I went to
fixed
the
it.
ogre first.
No, it went to the wizard. I'm gonna be glad Smoke's gonna be leaving. So I won't have to play him anymore. I can just play DM.
One
so
less thing
that's
to think
plus-
about.
Oh, I'm so sorry, wizard. Oh, you might not even get a turn. Ouch. Oh, that hurts.
I thought you had
Hey.
the 4.
He got a 3.
He got a 1+2. One ogre got a 1, and the other one got a 14.
There's more after these ogres?
I think he forgot about his initial rolls.
There you go. There's the initiative rolls. It's going to be Simone's up first, followed by an ogre,
Let me
Smoke.
remove that. I would have had to been here to cast Fairy Fire. But I'm good.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. There you go.
Go,
You guys,
Steven.
it seems like you've gotten the drop on them, even though Simone blew your cover. You still
They're
they are
focused on
slow
us.
to react. Yeah, they are slow to
Yeah.
react. They don't. I will say it outright. You will get, if you do a range attack, Bren, you will get you already get advantage because of Fairy Fire, but they have no idea you're there. No clue.
Good, I could throw a dagger at them.
Yeah, I don't think you're. All right, Simone, you're up. You just cast a spell. You're kind of shocked that you're still the first one in combat, but you just quick.
Let's do a fun little game.
And you
Minor
fully know where
illusion.
they are now. You
Yeah,
have
minor
I've put-
illusion. Boop, there's another Simone there. And he's blowing a raspberry at them.
What's the DC for your spells again? 14? Ah, god damn it. All right. That's your turn?
And he's going to move up to there and then like shove his back against the wall.
Okay. Are you actively trying to hide yourself, or are you just kind
No,
of?
he's just kind of like taking cover against the wall.
Okay. I will consider you having 3/4 cover because of the. Actually, from them, you would have total cover if you're up against the wall.
You know, they can't see me. Oh well, so.
Right? Well, Ogre up here roars and runs forth. Looks at you. You thought their dex was bad. Their will ain't much better.
Aw,
And
he's
fails
looking
his
for-
will save and wastes his turn, smashing the raspberry blowing illusion into the ground. He does 2 giant club attacks, leaving a crater into that wood, and just roars at the fact that it's showing no signs of damage.
You know that ogre. It's an investigation check against illusions.
It would be lower. It's fine.
It's lower. It's fine. Shut up.
Ogres are not the most charismatic or smart or wise creatures
dexterous.
in existence, okay?
But what they do have is a big stump.
All right, Smoke's turn. Smoke,
Oh,
as
Smoke.
he's hidden, go ahead and moves up a little bit. And he takes aim at the wizard. He's trying to take out the magic caster real quick.
Smoke, what are you doing? We need to interrogate wizard friend.
Smoke is getting an image of that time, I think it was Simone got blasted with like 7 magic missiles at once and going,
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. It's been a day since that fight, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I got my
Yes.
magic shotgun back.
Yes, you do. He rolls a 13.
15
Fuck.
advantage.
Yeah, 15 advantage. Fuck, their armor class is 11. Okay, well,
That mage is just going to be like, what? No!
let's go ahead and roll a sneak attack, which he met. Oh, wow, he rolled low. 10. You watch as from the grass, Bren, you didn't even know where it was at the time. From the grass, a bolt flies out and just impales the wizard in the neck. You hear the wizard go, turn and look from where it goes. Ah! See Smoke, and then Smoke poofs, tries to poof away as he does another stealth check.
Did the turn order disappear for anyone else?
Is it gone?
Yeah,
Yes.
seriously.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. There it is. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. Smoke. You are going to do another stealth check. What you gonna get? He disappears. Bren, even you don't. You were watching the whole time. Even you don't know where he gone. He gone.
Yay.
Just still, you're up.
All right. Moving. Get the right one out. Moving up. Bonus action. Transform. Boom. Do.
Doggo.
As you transform, you actually push the ogre back. That's what I'm ruling. The ogre is angry because he's still fixated on that illusion, and it to him seems like you're protecting it.
Yep. And it is time for some red meat. Does a 21 hit? All right, and I need a strength check.
Oh, you mean it's +4 +7 to strength checks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trusting on the low rolls.
Okay. Oops, that is not correct, and that should have been a whisper roll. But fuck it, I don't care right.
Well,
Doesn't matter. He actually kicks you off of him after he takes the 8 damage, and you are almost knocked prone.
well, 4 legs, good long leg. That doesn't affect me much. And that's my turn.
Okay. Bryn, you're up.
Okay. Well, there's only one option, of course. It's rush up and punch a wizard in the face.
As you rush up out of the blue, the ogre is taken aback and actually takes a step back, but the wizard, eyes wide open, waiting for this.
What up? Shank!
You hit?
Yep.
The wizard. Actually, no, you don't. You see the wizard.
22 doesn't hit?
Fairy fire advantage.
Oh, right. No, even with you see the goblin cast a magic spell, and a shield of force appears over his arm, yet your punch still goes through and connects with his jaw.
I love it. The shield comes up and he's like, haha, and then the sword hits and he's like, wait, oh, and it cuts through.
Yeah.
And she'll snap kick him in the face for a good measure.
Just because this is something I'm interested in. Just because the shield wouldn't stop the blow doesn't mean a wizard wouldn't still try.
Yeah,
So
I used it.
So that's 12 damage. So wizard's not looking rough. He hasn't had his turn yet, but he's on his last legs already. You miss.
Yeah,
Even
I'm going to
with
spend the
advantage on
key
that.
point for the other unarmed strike.
The wizard just kind of backs away.
Yeah! Double
you're-
snap kick! Go!
So you're going Fury of Blows.
18.
You miss.
18 misses?
Yes, with shield up, giving him a +5. Yes, it does.
Oh, poo. Well, it was worth it.
Yeah,
Riz-
that's why I love the shield spell.
Yeah, it's till the end of his turn. So you made him waste it when he's about to go, though, because it's only gonna last a few seconds instead of lasting a full round. But hey, there you go. All right, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's Bryn's turn.
You see the wizard furious. He pulls up a familiar stick to everyone in this area. He looks dead at you, Bryn. And he goes, and he says in Goblin, goodbye. And he shoots you with 7 magic missiles, doing
Alright.
7d4 plus 7, I believe.
Yep. It's a D4
And
plus
it's a
1 per
ranged
missile.
attack.
You can't capture these. These are magic. You take 27 points of force damage as
Yeah,
7
that's actually pretty good.
missiles blast into you all over. And then
Okay.
gonna roll a d20.
Mathematically, that's as if you just rolled a 3 on every single
And
one
the
of them.
stick doesn't explode. He
I
kind of
mean, it just says that it's a ranged attack, and the darts are a ranged attack.
it's not magic range, dude.
Doesn't
Otherwise
say-
you'd be catching fireballs and bolts and things like that.
I mean, it
I think
lets
it's about
you-
attack of opportunities.
Well, it just range. That's what I'm saying.
There's
wait,
a
that's
melee
Pathfinder.
attack, there's ranged attack, and there's magic attacks. Typical.
Right.
So,
Think
Range
Pathfinder.
things like bows and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a ranged attack action, not a
not a
magic
spell.
attack.
All right. So you took 27 points of force damage, but he you see the magic shield go away, and he tries to back away, giving you an op attack if you want it.
I'll take it.
Definitely hit, and he's dead. He's done. What's the symbol? There it is. Wizard's dead. But you are severely hurt with a rather large ogre looking down at you menacingly as you've killed his boss.
Eh,
And unfortunately for you, it's his turn.
I know.
He takes a step forward. He looks at his boss and picks him up. Go, boss, leave. Boss dead. And pulls up his club and tries to smash you with a D20 plus 6. Done 11 at you.
Bryn just fades to the side.
Seemingly
I've
blinded
other
by
lost
rage at the fact that you've killed his boss, he recklessly tries to slam the club down, and you just kind of step out of the way. But he does leave an indent in the ground. If that had hit, it'd have done some big damage. And that's his turn. Simone?
Simone's going to poke his head out. And then he's going to look at the ogre and cast suggestion.
Oh, you. Oh, God. Do it. All right. He fails. What are you suggesting? Wait, no, he gets advantage because he's been hit in combat. He still fails.
I mean, with his 25% chance of failing, or sorry, passing, he didn't have good chances.
Is Flux thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Flux is thinking. We're all doomed.
I can't hear him. Can anyone else hear Flux right this
No.
second?
No.
Not at all. That's why I made the joke.
Okay, I didn't know he was actually.
Hello?
Yeah, I
There we
can
go.
hear you now. Oh, what are you suggesting?
They're fighting on the other side of that rock. Bring that rock down on them. Smash it.
That's a good suggestion. That's a very good suggestion. Let's see what happens. Is that the end of your turn?
And I'm going to call out to Bryn. Bryn, be ready.
The fuck does that mean?
Just be
I
ready.
know what you said, but it heard that you said Bren Beard Betty to me.
The fuck does that mean? Be ready.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. You see him angrily growl at the wolf. Move one forward. He's still in your threat range, so you don't get
Yep. Plus,
attack.
I heard him. I may have heard him. Actually, how does suggestion work? Do I hear him speak it, or is that like telepathically entering his head?
Verbal command. You
Okay.
would have heard him.
Okay, so I would have heard him saying it, so I would have not attacked. Period.
Okay, that's a +9 for this check, by the way.
By the way, even if that wizard hadn't died, this was the plan of action.
Okay.
We're gonna see if ogres can fly, or if they have layers today.
That is an 18. You see the stone start to crack. This is a very large, very ancient stone. The portal instantly did I make it a map object? I did. Portal gone instantly. There is a crack in the stone and it is starting to fall. It's not there yet. It is starting to fall. That's it. And that's all he's gonna do. He essentially shoulder chucked the rock, just cracked it, destroying the portal. But the rock hasn't fallen quite yet.
I also want to say that if they were not 60 feet away when we started this combat, my suggestion was going to be to punt that goblin. I was doing measurements to see if I could get within range and suggest a goblin punt.
Considering they have to attack the goblin leader is a deadly action, I might have not allowed that. I'll be honest with you.
I mean,
I could have phrased it in a way. You've made these goblin leaders not nice to their subservience.
I mean, they can justify it. We got hungry. Go up in there. Food.
All right, you see smoke, kind of. You don't see him yet, but you see come from the grass. Another arrow, and he is not seen, so he has advantage. It hits. He does another 9. He does 9 damage to this one.
Excuse me.
Does 9 damage plus what's his sneak attack?
2d6.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wow, he is consistently rode terrible in these sneak attacks. Plus another 2 damage sneak attack. The ogre has no clue. He is completely fixated on you, Bran. And he pops back into the shadows. Moving just a touch more, just enough. Yeah, he's hidden. I'll do it publicly. There it goes. Yeah, he's... normally that would not be a hidden score. Unfortunately, the passive perception of an ogre is an 8. So, he's hidden.
Yep.
All right. That's Smoke's turn. Castile, you're up.
All right.
Bark.
Since that one's being under control. Let's see. How far would I need to move?
Brand, how bloody are you right now?
I'm at 4.
Your friend Brand is very, very hurt. You can.
Yep.
He's barely.
Even with the temporary HP.
Yes.
Took 27 damage, dude. He's a D8 monk at level 3. Yes.
All right. And I have advantage. It's not gonna help probably.
No, it will. It's an ogre.
Wait, how do you have advantage? Fairy Fire's gone.
Pack hunter. It's a.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Specifically, pack tactics. The wolf has advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies are within 5 feet.
That 15 would have hit.
Oh, it hits? Okay. Strength check, please.
Okay.
My God, these rolls.
Yeah, not joking. These ogres got one thing. They're health tanks, and you guys aren't doing a lot of super damage.
Yeah, I noticed.
All right, 1 second, and that's gonna be
Fail.
why the fuck did it do that again? Oh,
That way I can hide behind bark, nom nom.
Okay. What the fuck? Okay, there we are.
As a monk, don't you have like some ability to? Oh yeah, it's disengage. Never mind.
It's an action to disengage.
Well, no.
Yeah, he saved.
What it is, whenever I do, my bonus action punch, I can move 10 feet as though it was a disengage. It's basically what it is.
Okay.
All right, so that he doesn't punt you like the other one does. He just kind of shakes you off.
All right.
And then I will shank him with the power of my shank.
Is it are you done with your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, then Bren, you are up.
Power of the ice shank.
You miss.
And my snap kick. Go! Kick-a-poo!
You hit with your unarmed strike.
I do 5.
Right, you do 5 more damage. He's not looking happy, but he's still standing pretty well.
I kind of needed an advantage.
Are you moving out of his area, or are you staying where you are?
Well, since I got that hole, I can move 10 feet as though it's a disengage. Yeah.
There you go.
Drunken technique's good. And
All
it's
right.
10 feet more than my normal movement, so it is effectively having 50 movement if I punch somebody and then I run 50 feet.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's Bryn's turn.
He's fucking dead. The ogre is pissed off because he can't see the monk anymore as it's hiding behind the giant wolf's legs. But he's not going to question it. He rears back, going for a strike with his it is a plus, actually, yeah, it's +6. He reels back. I take it a 9 does not hit your wolf AC.
Nope.
Some reason he's crying, he's blubbering. For some reason he really loved his master. He is just furiously upset.
Master, give good
at
food.
At his death.
I don't want to kink shame, but it's an ogre.
Simone, you're up.
Simone's gonna just start walking back, shouting, "I say ogre, you say pride, ogre." Do the ogres respond? I say it in Goblin.
I say ogre. Say pride.
They look up and go, "What?"
That's enough. 6 magic missiles come flying over the crest at him. Hey, Bucko.
What?
At that one.
Okay. Roll your magic missile, no attack damage.
And then you roll all ones.
The other one did 27, so let's see what he can do.
17. Wow, that's a lot of ones.
So, yeah, 3 1s and 2 2s. Not great.
Not great, but the ogre is bloody. Those impacts, they let each and every one left an open wound. He is bleeding profusely right this second. Meanwhile, the other one is just still pushing on. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
He's still mindlessly. God damn it, it was going to be a 16 DC. He successfully pushes over the rock, which at that angle is going to, I'm going to give my ogre a dex save. But the goblin body is gone. It is smushed under a, yeah, it is smushed. So my ogre dex is not too bad.
I could have gotten more shotguns. I could have carried them like a pirate carried pistols.
Does it Barishnikov out?
I mean, we can recover
in fact,
the wand.
No, in fact, you hear a of magic as the stick is destroyed by the rock. I'm going to say you see a normally when you shoot off a magic missile, you see a nice blue glow. You see a small blue explosion, and
the rock goes flying.
The large rock just kind of goes up for a second and then back down. No, that ogre's arm is pinned, and he takes, I'm going to say, 2d6 bludgeoning damage. He takes 7 bludgeoning damage. His arm's pinned. Unfortunately, that's the arm that his club's in, so he is significantly weakened. He's just kind of pinned there. That was that one's turn.
Ogre, I say tree trunk. Ogre,
Smoke lines up this shot. He would have had advantage because of
Very far, but not anymore.
No, because he was hidden. But unfortunately, the ogre's on the ground, so he just gets a normal shot.
Yeah.
Actually, doesn't hitting something prone give you advantage?
No.
No.
In melee, it does.
It does in melee, but in range.
Okay. All right.
He still successfully hits and kills this ogre.
And now we tame the other one and train it to be our pet.
The ogre is looking a little confused the one that pushed over the rock, as it doesn't see any of you under it. The command's been carried out.
Yep.
And he roars back at both Bryn and the giant wolf.
What about Raspberry Simone? Does he roar at him?
Raspberry Simone is behind him right now. He doesn't see him.
Does he at least hear the raspberries?
He did minor image. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't actually make the sound of raspberries. It's you add that in post.
Okay. Well, whoop. And
Because still, it is your turn, and there is, as far as you know, one
nope.
thing. By the way, I want you guys to know something. You saved yourself a headache, as these four up here to the north, these four orcs were going to be popping out of that portal if you had not finished this in 2 rounds.
Yep.
Now that the portal's gone, guess who doesn't exist?
Oh my! Wait, no! Whoa, what you gotta do, Neo, is the portal flickers on and chunks of orc just spray out.
Just spits out 4 orcs. Ah, we're here.
They went through the portal and they just spray out, but it turns back to stone. So it's just this spray of stone.
So it's like like in Stargate. Also, here's the thing. Even though I missed,
barely hit.
Oh,
you match, so you get you match at 11. So
and give me my DC save.
okay, you betting on that 10% chance he fails.
Yes, I am. It's only 13. There's like a 20% chance I'll succeed. That he'll fail.
It's a +9 for these, dude.
I'll get you next time.
He kicks you off, and this time, since he rolled so, he actually kicks you 5 feet away down because of it. But he still takes the 11 piercing damage.
Yep.
All right, and he is firmly looking at you right now. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right.
And it's just growling right now.
Ren, you're up. I was going to have like 4 rounds of enemies if you guys took a long time coming out of the portal. It was going to be fun. Nah, you had to destroy it in round 1.
We had to think.
All right. Bren, you're up.
Bryn just
No, you failed. Go back where you are. You are prone on the ground.
Well, at least you're still behind me.
I mean, that was to see. That was more for something else. But how am I prone?
You failed an act. I thought you were trying to jump over.
No.
Oh.
No. That was more for like. I was thinking about having her describe it as basically she runs up and slides under to get to here.
No.
But
you rolled it and you were doing you. Just because you rolled low doesn't change the fact you were going to do it. You run up to here, and you start the slide trying to get under his legs. And you hit the remnants of what was the portal rock, numbing your leg. You're sitting right there, prone. You still have enough movement to get up if you want. Still have enough to get up if you want, and then you could do something else. You want to stand up?
That's 20 feet. I can get all the way over to here.
Okay, so that was.
It really doesn't affect me, Neo. That's why it was just a thing for narrative's sake. It doesn't affect me.
If you, with what you said, I would have made you do an acrobatics. It is actually acrobatics to try and do some flippy shit or dive under somebody or something. But it's fair. If you have enough to get over there, you are not outside his range. You entered it and stayed in it. So I will not do an op attack.
And I only do 8 damage with my slash.
That is okay. 8 damage. You do anything else? With this positioning, since we do flanking, you have advantage for the record.
Oh, yay.
On the next attack. Not this one, the next.
Yay. I'll spend a key point and go for double punch.
Okay.
try and bring him down with punches. First
Okay,
punch.
22
and
and
second
a
punch.
20. They both hit.
First does 4 and second does 7.
Not enough. He is bleeding. He is bruised, but he is still up.
Punch.
Okay, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Fucking dead. Fucking dead. Simone?
Can I see the ogre from down here?
From there, yes, you can. He is tall enough.
Discordant whispers at him. Give me a wisdom save, Bucko.
You're a monster.
Oh, hey, I didn't even use my bardic inspiration this whole battle.
He succeeds!
Holy shit!
A splash of inspiration as he succeeds on your goddamn bullshit psychic damage.
It still takes four damage.
Aw. surrounded by enemies from his perspective, because he still doesn't know that this Simone's not real. The adrenaline hits his head and he somehow shrugs off what should have been a very bad thing for him. You doing anything else?
You know what? I'm going to give the wolf bardic inspiration.
Ooh.
Make that next shot count.
How are you doing that?
By saying that.
Make that next shot count as you wink and kind of like thumbs up the wolf.
Yeah, so that you don't want to let Simone down, do you?
It's a bonus action on my turn.
He thinks so highly of you. It's like a parent giving you bardic inspiration.
Creature can roll the die.
Well,
or that hot jock at school.
The ogre raises his club.
Oh, sorry.
And he's looking at you. You're the one in front of him right now. You're the biggest target, and he misses. I don't think an ogre has hit any of you.
Nope.
An ogre did hit another ogre, though.
Well,
they hit us reliably if they actually can roll.
Yeah, no, that's the weirdest thing. They have a +6 to this, too, and they have, I don't think I've rolled over a 6 once. All right, well, that's his turn. You see smoke pop up again. He does what smoke does, tries to strike from the shadows. Whoop. He successfully does short bow damage. He's probably gonna kill him.
Come on, at least still have 1 HP at least.
That's 3 HP left before the sneak attack, because allies are in the area.
Oh.
It's dead.
He's probably dead unless he rolls double ones again.
Dead.
You see a bolt just pop out of the grass, and the final ogre falls down dead. Did you actually say that?
No.
You hear Simone tell
Simone's
you.
too busy still No, I don't say that. Simone's too busy humming his own. You say ogre, I say pride.
Okay. All right. Well, battle's over. You see Harris walk up, inspect the stone. He lifts his mace, and what was left of the stone turns into rubble with one giant smash. You see him mutter some words. You see the air where the portal would fizzle. And then he says, "A portal will never open up here again. Good work, all." And with that, Castile, even in your wolf form, one of your paws starts to feel a little warm. What are you gonna do?
Still have that inspiration attack Harris.
Okay,
it.
first,
Attack him.
First,
Attack Harris.
I get out of wolf form so I can start communicating with people. Guys, stone's glowing. Get
The
close.
stone in the back of your palm is now flashing.
Guys, we're about to teleport back. Get close, get close.
No, I mean, you still have to trigger it, but it is flashing, meaning you can activate it now.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just I thought it was like a timer thing. It was about to go off. Oh, okay.
No.
I high five illusion. Hey, put him back. Put him back. I still have a minute. I'm gonna high five him.
Bryn slides by and like high fives the illusion and Seaman.
Right, he's back. Happy.
She does a double high five as she slides down the ramp.
Simone and him
Fuck
do
this
the.
shit, I'm out.
Simone and illusion. Simone do the upper high five as they walk past, and then the lower high five as they keep going.
Okay. Question, like my knowledge. Okay, just a quick question, like
which one's actually you? I need you to move for a second.
They're both me. It really doesn't change anything. I didn't get hit at all, and they're both my journal.
No, I'm setting up a turn order for the next time there's you guys have combat.
Just assume there'll always be two Simones.
Okay. All right, a quick question. My character would obviously know, but like as soon as like I activate it, would we all go away or teleport,
Yes,
or we have to be within close
been
proximity?
attuned to all of you, including Harris.
Okay. I thought we had to be within
each other.
No, you don't need to be near each other.
Okay, that's just what I
Keep
wanted
in mind, this was going to teleport your corpse back if you had failed after a year.
All right.
Yeah. No.
Well, hold on to your lunches, guys, because here we go.
We had a year to do this.
Yes, you had a year.
Done so much more whoring in the time.
You guys kind of sped through this. I was expecting it to take 6 months and travel and other things you guys were going to do.
Could have seduced that farm life. I thought we were on a short time schedule.
No, Bryn's run away.
No, Brent, it's too. You try to run away, but as it's activated, you feel like someone had just grabbed your collar and you're yanked into the sky.
I know,
The
that's the
rest of
thing.
you-
She knows that's gonna happen. She just wants
For
to run
you,
away.
it's particularly unpleasant because you're moving while for the rest of you, it's like someone gently lifts you up and you just dart off into the sky.
See, Bryn has to oppose it in some capacity. It's just in her nature. She's going to bring down that goddamn wall after all.
Okay. So, and I delete these two maps because they are no longer needed. Oh, I'm on that map. Delete a map. All right, you guys find yourself. Where's number one? Let's get rid of this little map thing drawn here. And you guys find yourself yanked back into Pune. You are at the receiving area of the training camp. You look around, it seems to be you're in a room with a nice circle. For the most with runes on the ground. You can only surmise this is a teleportation circle that was attuned to the crystal.
Out of curiosity, how does Bryn look, considering how she tried to run away?
Bryn, I need you to do a con save. Harris is also with Chu.
Damn it! I was hoping you would die in the teleport.
You notice you throw up. You keel over.
No.
And there on the platform, just anything you've eaten in the last 24 hours.
No.
If you were aiming at, you're trying to aim at Harris.
What? You would?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
You throw up all over the thing. All right. No. As you guys move, you guys notice that there's it's just a room. It's there's a door at the end of it, and you're
Well, it looks like we live here now for the rest of the year.
and there's a torchlight. It's nicely lit. Harris just takes off and opens the door and walks off.
Is it still like the same time? Same time? Actually, what was the time of day when we fought? Was this like midday?
It was noonish. You guys got to the quarry in the morning. You had your combat. It took a couple of hours to get through the cave. You got there about noons. The sun was high in the sky. If you get inside a building, you don't know. You can't see the sun right now.
I walk out at the door.
The sun's still high in the sky.
Okay, so at most the travel was probably a few minutes, an hour at most. Okay. So, where exactly does it look like the area where... And obviously we would know where to go to, like, give a debriefing.
Since you walked out the door, you are in the administrative area of the training base. Sorry, I needed water. You know from your time here that to the north is where you're supposed to report when you got back. To the south is the barracks you lived in for 2 weeks. In fact, as you walk by, you see your drill sergeant walk by with a group of new recruits on a familiar march that you took many times.
Out of curiosity, what would be the check to, like, size them up to see if they'll make it through basic training? Would that be
You are not experienced. You are not a veteran. You have no idea yet. You are still you are still a green face.
We're level fucking 4. We're fuck.
You're not 4 yet.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, you're still a green face when it comes to military. But they all seem pretty decent. You can tell there's a couple druids in the group. You could just tell from the gear they have on.
So they're in probably good hands. Alright. Is everyone else around me, or was I the only one that left the building?
As of this time, you're the only one that walked outside.
I turn around and motion for Bryn and Simon to follow. Let's go turn in our report.
Do you two follow? Or is Simone making sizing this room up for curtains?
Simone follows.
Bren, as you punch yourself to stop yourself from puking, do you follow as well?
Diplo dropped.
Oh, he's out?
He just looked like he dropped in the car real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been having some internet trouble.
Well, right now, he's still in the...
Give it a second. It usually takes like a few seconds.
Fair enough. I'm going to say for the...
Yeah, we'll just say he's following.
Yeah.
All right.
And
let's go submit a report. Okay. Oh, okay.
Do I see? Is what's his name still doing the a march with the other recruits?
Yeah. No, he's passed for the most part.
How far away? How far away is he?
About 20 feet.
Cool. Minor illusion. So any of you recruits ever banged a goblin before?
You see the drill sergeant turn quick and look to a guy you can't help but notice has a flute on his belt. I warned you! The next time you ever pulled something like that, I was gonna make you run 50 laps around the entire city! Get to it! And you see him raise his hand and call for another drill sergeant, and he pulls out essentially a stick and starts slapping him on the ass. Get moving! and you see this other poor, you can assume bard or something, just start running as he's being chased by another drill sergeant. Well, what are you standing around for? Get back to marching! And they march off. You have successfully gotten another bard in trouble. Are you happy?
Everyone's competition.
All right.
Other than that, I'm just following Catilla.
All right.
All right.
If Diplo has, just quickly check.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys start. You actually could tell. You see Harris, and you start following him because he's heading to the same place. And you see Harris start to enter a room. He looks back and sees you all.
It's actually been like 2 hours. Can we take a quick break?
Yeah, we're taking a 5 minute.
All right, $5. Okay.
I'm going to get a drink.
I'm back.
I am now on my phone. Can people hear me?
I can hear you, dude.
My computer and Discord decided to, or rather, my computer's version of Discord decided to kill itself, it seems.
What?
My computer's version of Discord decided to kill itself
Oh,
and won't relaunch. So
Oh.
I'm on my phone.
no worries. We're taking a 5 minute break.
Yay. But yeah, following Druid friend.
Yeah, no. All you missed is Simone getting another bard in trouble with your drill sergeant,
Yay.
your former drill sergeant.
Neil, it's
Yes?
Pride Month. It's Pride Month. Why did those ogres have pride?
Yay, Pride Month.
Why were those
no
ogres
one
not
needs
happy
to.
happy of their race?
Number one, I didn't know it was Pride Month. Number two, they don't care. They're ogres. They
Big
are
proud ogres.
Goblins are well known for their bias against homosexuality.
mainly it's because the ogres are just trying to survive at that point. You broke their portal when you did it, and their boss was dead. So you
I kind
got
of like the
you got a response out of them, but not a huge one.
yeah.
All right.
So I can't use roll 20. Yay!
Mechanically, you guys are level 4. Oh, so if you want to go ahead and get started on that, you can.
I applied it. I'm now AC 19. Yay!
As long as it works, dude. Don't fucking care.
Now
And
the
yours?
ogre only hits me on a 13.
I'm back.
All right.
So what happened
Got
to Mark
about
last
2
time?
more minutes, and then it'll be 5 minutes, or we can go ahead and get started since everyone's technically here.
Are we doing level up right now?
You're allowed to during this next part. Yes.
Okay, I'll wait then.
I'll wait then as well.
Most of the next little bit is going to be role playing and setting up afterwards. If you want to do it now, you can. Otherwise, if you want to get started on it now, it's fine. There's not going to be any combat or anything like that till your next for a little bit.
We're rerolling ones for level ups.
I will. I don't need to see you to roll. I'm not going to do that, but I will allow you to one re-roll if you roll low. So yes, you can take that 6. Okay. I am not going to have a Caleb. Flux.
So I'm getting rid of Tasha's hideous laughter and getting unseen servant.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Caleb roll like multiple ones for his HP?
Yes, that is the reason why, even though they are like level 9 or 8 now, he only has 50. He only has like 56 health.
Oops, it's supposed to be a D8.
Despite his like 16 con.
Yeah, no, he's got. Caleb for a wizard has pretty nice stats physical wise.
So I debated over this for a while, thinking of what feat I should get. I mean, Simon's beautiful, he's successful, he's attractive, he looks well, but you know what he wasn't? And he now is? Pretty lucky.
Fuck you, but fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ban it.
See, I would take lucky, but I kind of need that, +4 dex, and well, I can also get a +4 wisdom at the same time, which is just really
All
nice.
right, so is everybody back?
Let's see if I can get my computer.
I'll give you a
Discord
second
work.
to see if you can get it on your computer instead of using your phone.
Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to really do roll 20 and stuff. Yay!
You're still in the roll 20.
I know.
It says you're not on the
Let's
phone.
see. I can do things in roll 20. Yay!
All right.
Okay, let's see. Can I use? Yay! I can. It's fixed itself.
All right.
That worked.
All right. As you guys start to walk, Castile, you see Harris. He actually sees you following in motion and motions for you all to enter. Well, actually, no. Sorry, that's the opposite. He looks at you. Go. You should enter in 5 minutes.
Okay.
He goes in and he closes the door. You can hear him start to talk. Would anyone like to be sneaky and try to listen at the door?
I guess that'd be a stealth check.
No, that'd be a perception check to try and hear through the door.
I think I'll try and listen.
Anybody else?
Hello?
I'm not. No.
All right, so Diplo and Flux, no. Curious to curious. Give me a perception check.
Nope.
Nope. You try, but you all you hear is Do you give the full
Oh my
5 minutes?
god! I knew it. Harris is actually a series of halflings in armor.
Do you give it the full 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I. So this is what, like, at the door or what?
Yeah, you're at the door. He's told you to come in come in 5 minutes.
No,
He needs to report first.
I want to peek in.
Okay, give me a stealth check to crack open the door.
I don't give no shits.
How quickly do you try to do this, though? I need to know. Do you let a minute go by and then curiosity gets the best of you?
No, no, this is Bryn we're talking about here.
So nearly immediately.
No,
Harris,
she waits till there's some talking, a few seconds, half a minute.
You just see Harris talking to someone sitting at a desk. You see Harris look over, lift up his hammer, and very lightly toss it at the door. I'm going to need you to do a reflex save.
I'm glad I'm not in front of the door.
But wait, he saw me with a 22?
Yes, he did.
I can catch it.
No, you are on the door is cracked. He is essentially hitting the door to close it. You cannot catch it.
I want to deflect missile by pushing the door more.
No, I am going to allow you a dex save to try and prevent yourself from getting hit by the door, but not anything else. You have cracked the door open. You don't have time to push it open all the way. You don't have time to try and put your hands and catch it. You have enough time to basically hop back. Keep in mind, combat is a round of combat is 6 seconds. It's going to take a little bit longer than that to try and slam the door open on it, or to open the door enough to catch.
I'm just kind of annoyed that 22 didn't pass.
He is a cleric with a very high wisdom.
I'm going to kill this NPC. I want you to understand. Neo, I want you to understand something. This is my goal for this game, is to kill Harris. Secondary goal is to destroy the wall. I hope you understand. Those are literally my two.
I hope you don't ever tell anyone that ever, because then you're going to be instantly killed. But you successfully hop back, and the door just kind of slams shut. And you hear something as it's closing. As I said, they are impetuous. And that's the only thing you hear.
I would like to say it's obstinate, not impetuous.
Okay.
Also, Harris, fuck you.
You're yelling through the door.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
How much time goes by before anyone else tries something?
I was gonna wait the full 5.
She's just gonna walk in.
All right, fine. You open the door. You find it's particularly hard to push open, as a loud thud as the hammer that's just kind of resting against the door is providing a natural door stop. But you push it open. Fine. If you would like to hear my thoughts on you.
I mean, I know what your thoughts are on me. I also...
No, and he starts to speak, and you try, and you find your voice is gone for a second. He has cast a silence spell on you. He points to...
You notice that Bryn's still talking. She's still
talking, but nothing's coming out. Simone here is...
Simone did not come in.
Oh, Simone...
Neither did I.
Oh, so it's just Bryn in the room with the door open. Okay.
I specifically stated I was going to wait the 5 minutes.
It's about
Bryn's taking the hammer to buy. It's hers now.
You try to pick up the hammer, you're unable to lift it. Give me a strength check. No, you cannot lift that hammer.
I'm taking the hammer.
You can't lift it. You can try, but you're not. It's not budging. You are someone trying to lift Thor's hammer right now. While Harris talks. They're a good squad. They can get the job done. I recommend them for the mobile assault, mobile combat, something like that. They all have their issues, but for the most part, they will do well. And with that, Harris calls his hammer to him, which flies to him.
Bryn's not letting go.
Okay, give me another strength check. You now have a magical force pulling on this hammer. No.
I rolled a 23 in the first one.
No, you rolled a 7. You don't have advantage on this. The second one you try to, but from the end you're holding, it slips from your grasp. I don't know what his problem is, but he's still a good fighter with a good heart.
It's mostly I just hate you, Harris. I'm going to be honest.
You continue to try to talk. Nothing comes out. Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I forgot.
Which is more hilarious because that means she says that, and it's very there's body language that says a lot.
But you try to say it, and he goes, "Oh, right. Well, I'll be off. I recommend full pay before he off." And as you see, he basically grabs his holy symbol, and he's gone. In a puff of divine light, Harris is gone. And as he disappears, your voice is heard again. What's the first thing that anyone hears?
The first thing
is it just screaming?
No, it's literally just Bryn saying, "And this is why I'm going to kill him." There's no further context provided than just that.
He's going to your commander. This is the base commander. Looks at you, cocks an eyelash, and goes, "You're welcome to try." Right, and he yells out, "The rest of you can come in." Right. You see Smoke walk in.
I enter.
Come on, you nerds, hurry up.
Simone, are you entering as well?
No, I'm still busy cleaning clothes.
You need to pay on your assignment. I recommend you come in here.
So first it was a can, then it was a recommend. Still, those are options that I can say no to. So, still cleaning clothes.
Yeah.
You all see your base commander.
I want to say I'm actively standing in the door. Every time he says something, I look at him and then go back to cleaning clothes.
You see him sigh and just go, "What did Harris see in you?" And then go, "Okay, I order you to enter the room and close the door."
There we go. Simone goes in and salutes the commander and closes the door.
Probably the fact that we are, an efficient and better team than he is as an individual.
Yes, you wish. Well, I have gotten Harris's report. It seems that he is
an incompetent fool. Yes, we know.
Okay, you quiet now, or I will also cast silence on you. He's not the only one. He says you are effective fighting force and problem solvers. With that in mind...
These are inaccuracies, and I would like this noted on our record.
I thought, and he points to Simon, thought he was the trickster. Well, what has been recommended, and before he can finish, you all see Smoke stand up, and he says, I recommend to be transferred.
I knew it. The cat is actually a spy.
No. He's asking out of your unit. He says, well, normally we don't require a reason. I'd ask to know why. Smoke goes up to him and whispers, and then, very well. And Smoke.
Well, wait, hold on.
You want a perception check?
No, I don't give a shit what they're talking about. But I do,
I
do have interest in causing chaos. So when Smoke goes up and whispers, minor illusion in Smoke's voice, I'm very racist against that kind. Do you have just a cat? Do you just have a cat unit?
So as the base commander can recognize what you're doing, he hears two things in his ear. He recognizes your gesture. He doesn't care. He goes, fine, I can see what you mean. And you may leave. We will assign you to a new group shortly.
I never knew Smoke was a racist, but I mean, it explains so much.
It was a whisper. You didn't hear it.
What you do hear, however, is fart noises as Smoke walks outside.
Smoke leaves. And now I don't have to play Smoke. All right. And I can close Harris.
I always knew Smoke was a racist.
All right. You each will be given these badges, and he hands you a badge each.
What does the badge show? What is it?
It says 50. It has a symbol for the for Granst. And it says under it 54th Mobile Division.
I don't like any of these words.
54th Mobile Division.
I understand what the words mean. I said I don't like them.
You will be given more leeway than most soldiers. You will not be stationed to a stationary area. You will be joining the other 53 units of problem solvers. Your jobs typically will have you sent to the far corners of Granst. And if we ever can get the flotilla up beyond, you...
Oh God, no! I don't want to go to the flotilla. I don't want to meet my aunt again.
You will, for the most part, have leeway and lead time more than anyone else. Right now, that starts, and he pulls open his drawer, the bottom drawer. The top is where he pulled the badges from, and he pulls out 4 sacks, and then remembers and puts one back.
Wait, no.
Here's your 150 monthly pay. And then he reached 150 gold monthly pay. And then he also goes into another bottom drawer. And since you managed to take care of that mansion issue, here is the fee for that. And he pulls out another bag. And he tosses it on the table. Who wants to look into it?
I will.
Brenda's.
Right? You both reach for the bag and open it. And you find about 300 gold worth of assorted gems.
That's not nearly as much as the mansion itself is worth. I'll take the mansion.
You're not getting the mansion right now. We have to go through it from the report. There was undead. A corrupt noble. Oh, the paperwork's gonna take months.
I have no idea what you're talking about. None of us reported any of those things.
Harris did.
Oh. Well, as we've already discussed, Harris is a liar and a fraud.
By the way, I realized since I had to recreate this map, the mansion's not on it. I'm gonna have to figure out where I put it.
I know exactly where it was. Give me a second and I can tell you exactly.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. I'll put one there. Well,
did the bottom half of the map disappear for everyone?
What?
Did the bottom half of the map disappear for everyone? Or just me?
No.
All
It's
right,
there.
Bottom half's still there.
let me just
Oh
refresh
god,
then.
my shoulders.
All right, give me a sec to refresh.
If you could see Vers, you could see the bottom half of the map.
I can only see a little bit south of Pune, and that was it.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing. I think that might have just been some
It's
hiccup.
probably just because you're probably zoomed in.
Well, you have 2 weeks to do what you will, and then you are each to report for duty for your service. We will have a job for you then. You will be given a your housing situation will be dealt with in time. If you would like to go home, please report to the teleportation mazes in the annex down to the east. Each of you will be brought back, and he pulls out 2 more crystals. Each of you will be brought back here in 2 weeks' time, and you see him mutter over each crystal. And he asks, he asks you for the one that's embedded in your hand.
I put my hand forward.
Bryn holds up a
over
hand.
that one.
Bryn holds up a hand.
He tosses you a crystal, and it goes into your hand. You now have one on the back of your hand.
No, that's not why she's holding up her hand. She still holds up her hand.
Okay, why?
What happens if your family is nomadic?
We have scryers. You can describe them, and they can find the location.
Also, what happens if you are personally requesting not to be assigned to the flotilla because you don't want to deal with family?
You're not being assigned to the flotilla. That is just a project that we are
I'm
working
asking
on.
for a future date in case we do get assigned to it, sir.
Well, to be honest, if your job takes you there, it takes you there. That is all it comes down to. You are never going to be assigned to a location. For your 5 years of service or until you are dead, or 5 years elapsed, you will be traveling all over the country.
All right.
That is what it means to be a mobile, God, what did I say?
54th Mobile Division.
Mobile
We're
division.
part of the mobile infantry.
You're essentially part of you're essentially part of a strike force unit, okay? In modern actual terms, that's what you would be.
Yep. Sir, if I may.
Yes.
What is the status of Jean? Because the way she disappeared, had to be relieved from duty, was rather disturbing.
Oh, yes. From what I understand, and you see him flip through some paperwork, that was a Underdark curse. We have no idea why. We have, unfortunately, none of the Drow ever decided to join us. They still hold up somewhere, or probably dead above the wall. But we have some how do you pronounce it? Flux Dronar? Draenor?
Drogar?
No,
Drugar.
the Underdark dwarves.
Yeah, Drugar.
Durgar.
Drogar.
Durgar.
We have
There's no R at the beginning. It's at the end. Durgar.
Durgar. We have some Durgar looking into it. He is he's been sent to Temper to hopefully figure out what the hell happened to him. His family's been notified, but he's alive.
I thought maybe it's just a system that produces unsanctioned and highly unstable individuals because it constantly beats them through a corrosive military regime.
I mean, you're welcome to go over the wall. No one ever keeps anyone in the wall. There's about a mile north of the wall, a nice line of heads of people who thought they could deal with the goblins or who wanted to leave. We don't trap you here. You are allowed to leave as you see fit. But just keep in mind, once you leave over that wall and renounce your citizenship, do not expect us to come running when the goblins cut off your head. with that said, you are dismissed, and I will expect to see you all back in 2 weeks.
Alrighty.
Right. This would be the point where you level up. If anybody wants to do any role playing with family or anything.
Like, is there any family of like Casillas around?
You have your adopted family in the what did you decide on, Dunst or Elder Lore? I forget.
I believe it was. Let me check my notes. It was Eldelore. Yeah. So they're south.
You also still have that branding mark you said you wanted to bring back for that record. So
yes, I do. I want to bring those back to get the reward.
You want to head to we'll start with Kiri then, while Flux and Flux and Diplo think about what you want to do over the next 2 weeks. Well, Castilla, you wish your two companions a good 2 weeks, and you head over to the teleportation annex.
Yep.
Bryn's just gonna go examine the wall.
It would take longer than 2 weeks to get there, but you're welcome to start walking.
I mean, no, teleportation annex.
Okay, that was not.
You just mentioned it.
Yeah, I would allow you to head. They don't allow teleportations to the wall.
Well, I want the closest one to the wall.
That would be Bastion.
Okay. And do I have enough time from Bastion?
Well, I'm going to take care of Kiri first. Then we'll take care of you. We're doing essentially role play right now for everybody, if they want it.
Yeah.
Kiri, you head to the
head to the teleporter.
You just want to head to the wall and inspect it, though? Is that what you're saying, Diplo?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. You follow Castile, and Castile, you go in. New recruits.
Yep.
Where do you want to go? Good job.
I want to go to the. Okay, you mentioned that it was like one of the marks from the Hydrosaurs that came from like a farm nearby that I'm familiar with. I'm going to travel to that farm?
No, you would travel to your town.
Right, to the town.
And then you would head there on your own.
Okay.
So, you want to go where?
To Elderwood? Elderlo?
Alright. He goes, Elderlore, okay. He points to a door. Go in there, stand in the circle, and count to 3. You'll be there before you know it.
Okay.
You, sir? He points to you, Brant.
Bastion.
Bastion. He looks at his notes.
Bryn just doesn't give a shit if people.
He points. You go to that door. You stand in the circle. You count to 3. You'll be there before you know it. For housekeeping, Simone, what are you doing?
So, of these cities that we have on this map, which would be considered the most resort-like city? Like possibly on a beach.
V-A-Y. It's on the. It's in the an area that's mostly elves. They are a seafaring town. They have many. Resort.
Yeah,
that'd be Vers. Vers is considered the breadbasket of the country. Every manner of cook that can possibly anyone who's ever retired that wanted to become a professional chef lives there. As such, it is filled with fancy hotels. It's said that any food imaginable you can find in Vers. It has become a resort town because of that.
So Simone just remembered he has family in Vers.
Okay.
He actually doesn't. The moment he gets off the teleportation pad, he's going to go whoring. But right now, the cover is that he has family in Vers, and he very briefly wants to see them.
You, sir? You said Vers?
I need to get to Vers.
Vers. He looks at the chart. Actually, this time he turns around and looks at the chart on the wall. Oh, right, I have that. Vers. All right, and points to a room to the to 9 o'clock. That room? You go in there, as I told you, friends. Stand in the middle circle, count to 3. You'll be there before you know it.
Okay. I go in and do so.
And as you all stand in the middle of the circles, you all count to 3. Bryn, you're a little nervous at doing so, but you all are gently lifted into the air. And before you know it, you're in your respective locations.
Did they imply that we were automatically going to get recalled back?
Yes. He each gave you a stone.
Wait, I never took the stone.
Then let's have housekeeping. Did you take the stone once he handed it to you?
I may not have. No, I don't think I took the stone.
No, for housekeeping, you got talked over. For housekeeping, each of you would have gotten.
If the stone is what's going to automatically recall me, then Simon did not take the stone.
He would not have allowed you to be teleported. You can't be teleported without a stone.
I had to show the stone.
What?
I had to show off the stone.
Yeah, you can.
Fine, I guess not.
It's proof of you are a decently high. It is proof that you are decently up there. You are not a grunt. You are not a guardsman. It is proof that you are someone who is going to get some bigger tasks.
How does the stone how do you display the stone to someone else?
You essentially just hold your hand up the back of it, and it shines in the back of your hand.
Cool. So prestidigitation as an option where I can make a color, a mark, or a symbol appear on an object or a surface for an hour. Can I create that? Can I make a fake stone mark?
No.
No, we gotta listen to our fascist regime.
No going AWOL and beat down. Fine.
Flux. We have to listen to our fascist regime.
I will allow you to try to go AWOL if you want, but I really rather you not. But I will allow it.
Fine, I won't.
I'm just picturing, in my mind, he enters a room, he counts to 3, nothing happens. A minute later,
I won't. But when I
walk in, okay, you try. Let's do this because it's actually kind of you have this fake mark. You never actually picked up the stone. You try to go into the room. You count to 3. Nothing happens.
I grumble, go back out, get the stone from the commander, and come back in. And walk in.
The commander goes, "Oh, I see. Say hello to the horse for me." The commander says as you leave and grab the stone, and it fuses to the back of your hand.
And I get recalled. I'm gonna be half naked with my dick out. I plan to leave the bed for the whole weeks.
You walked back in and he goes, "What, you didn't leave? Is there something wrong with the room?"
Faulty portals. Let's try this again.
Okay, you enter the room, you count to 3, and poof, you're off the earth. All right, since Bryn is just gonna head to the walls to inspect, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right, you find yourself in a very nice room. It's made of marble. The teleportation circle under you has almost gold inlay. But it seems to be covered and sealed with something. This is a very old, very permanent teleportation circle. And you can't help but notice you're in a massive room that's filled with them, and people are teleporting in from seemingly everywhere. What do you do?
She just walks out, and
as soon as you walk out, you are in an unbelievably massive city. You can see the walls from where you are, but you can't. You swear they block off the sky, even though you can look straight up and still see it. You see to the north a massive cathedral. To the northwest, a massive castle. The town is bustling, filled with activity. Are you trying to head to the gate?
Yep.
Head to the gate. It takes you a good couple of days.
I have urgent stuff.
It takes you a couple of days from the teleportation circle to get to the front gate. and the only gate of this city. Once there, you see these massive iron doors that are open. You have no clue how they close, but you're just allowed to walk through. It's not like anyone could really stop you. There's no way to fully guard it, but as you pass through, you feel a strange sensation. You have walked through a barrier that detects for, you don't know, but you have walked through a barrier, and now you're outside. You're in a landscape. It's not unfamiliar. You're still in the similar grounds as Pune. There's game around, but there's not a ton of forests. What are you doing?
I have a wall to go examine.
Okay. We're going to you start heading north, and we're gonna see how far you get.
Okay.
And that's it for now. You just marching yourself to the wall.
Yeah, and yeah, she's just going straight there, just walking.
All right. Just walking?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is important for her for some things.
Kiri,
Uh-huh.
you find yourself in a familiar teleportation building. You've been here before.
Yep.
You live here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you walk outside. You're in your hometown again.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, you know just north of town is the farm in question. But your adopted family is in the south end of town. Where do you go?
I'm gonna go to the south end of town.
Okay. You're walking your familiar streets. There is no need for me to need you to do a navigation check or anything. You are home here. You know exactly where to go.
Yep, I know this place like the back of my hand. Wait, what the hell is that on the back of my hand?
You continue, you walk, you pass by some people you know. They go, "Hey, I see you completed your training.
Yep.
What unit you in?"
54th Mobile Division.
Ah, good for you. Ain't gonna be standing around a tower. You have a good one. You have the same kind of conversation a few more times before you come to a familiar looking dwelling.
I knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock.
Coming. Ah, Castillo, you're home.
Which one is at the door? Which
It's your mother.
mother.
It's your adopted mother.
Catilla just hugs her.
Ah,
Good
it's
seeing
nice
you.
to see you too.
Let's seeing you again. Past training.
Yeah, good. You here for a while?
I've got 2 weeks before I'm magically recalled. To which she shows the gem.
That stuff's never pleasant. Never pleasant.
If you're running, it's not so much when it happens.
Some food?
Yes, please.
All right, and you go inside. You have a nice meal. That's where we're gonna stop
Yep.
for you for now. Simone,
Yes.
you are whisked away to an unfamiliar.
Is it unfamiliar? Would you say it's unfamiliar for Simone? Because I don't think it would be.
You think he's been here before?
I would think Simone's probably been here at some point.
You're whisked away to a familiar location. You're all smiles. You know exactly where you're going. You find yourself in a nice large room. It's got several teleportation circles. You see every once in a while you see someone pop in, but for the most part, just standing there. There's a nice open doorway leading into town. You see you smell, you know this smell. It's the smell of baking goods. It's the smell of cooking food. You have a very pleasant smell. The second you enter, you have teleported in. It's a familiar and for you a much needed smell.
First things first, Simone's gonna find a music shop.
Okay, you travel around. You've been here a couple of times. You find one. It's tucked away between a bakery and a and
Another bakery.
a bakery and a tavern. So you have competing smells, but you go in. Yes, sir.
I need a loot.
A loot. What type of loot? What materials?
A
we looking
redwood,
at?
a redwood loot, the most ostentatious loot you have.
Ostentatious. You know, we get that request all the time. But fine. All right. He comes from behind the counter and he takes you over. Come with me. He takes you over to the wall and there's just rows of loots. They're all behind a glass case, but they're you see the redwood ones are right there. This one is inlaid with gold. This one is inlaid with silver. This one is inlaid with platinum, and supposedly it has some very nice magical properties. We're not sure on that. We couldn't actually get anyone to come in and check on it. Which one would you be interested in? And you see, as you looking, the silver inlay one is very nice. It's sturdy. The strings are very very fine. The wood is beautifully crafted and carved. One of the it has several scenes on carved into it. One of them appears to be a musician just playing in a concert hall. Looks very nice. It's the silver inlay highlights the wood scene, uh, making it pop of the entire thing. The gold one doesn't seem to have as much carving, but it is heavily inlaid with gold across every surface, giving the beautiful redwood lines of the loot. They pop out.
How much is the gold one?
Gold one? That's 1 second. And he goes back and he opens up his book. Goes, that'll be. Says it was bought for this. Okay, we need to for us to get it. For you to buy it, it's gonna be 50 gold, sir.
That's much too much. Yeah, let's bump it down to, let's say, about 35 gold.
40 is the best I can do.
40 is good.
Okay, you hand him 40. You hand him 40 gold.
Yeah.
He comes over the key, unlocks it, pulls it out. Your beautiful loot, sir. Would you like a case with that?
No, I'm going to play it out.
Okay, sir. You have a good day.
I'm going to play out the loot, and I'm going to find the nicest tavern. The nicest tavern in town.
Okay, you actually start traveling from you went to the mid-range area of town to find this shop. You actually start traveling into, you see large, big mansions, huge restaurants. You see a castle of sorts in the distance. But as you're traveling the road, you come across a rather large tavern that has two doormen. They seem to be taking horses and coats, and everyone going in seems to be being dressed as sharp as possible.
Simone is going to nod to the doorman as he walks in.
How are you dressed?
I'm dressed in fine clothes, remember?
All right. He nods and you walk in. And
So
he says, "Sir, would you like me to take your coat?"
Yes, thank you.
All right. He takes your coat and walks in with you. He takes it up to the coat clerk and gets a ticket and says, "Sir, ticket for your coat. You enjoy your stay, sir." And he goes back to guarding the door.
So I'm going to find in this kind of area, the barkeep usually be the person who runs the place? Who would
You
be the owner?
see, this restaurant is huge. You see actually 4 bar areas, each with their own bartender. You see dozens of tables, each one with silk tablecloths, fine silverware. There is an entire band of bards playing, of musicians playing in the one corner of the place. You see waiters bustling and busy. You're looking for a you want to
No,
go up to one of the
Simon's gonna turn around and head back out. He's gonna get his coat and turn around and head back out.
I'm sorry we weren't up to your standards, sir.
There's nothing you did. Have a nice day. So, I want to find an upper scale mid-class bar. A bar that is in need of help, but is still rather well off.
You asked me for the finest
I know.
tavern in the
I know, but I rethought it.
All right, you start heading back towards the mid class area of town. You duck your head in a couple of taverns. There's no doormen. There's none of that. It's you see you start looking for one that doesn't seem to have someone playing music.
No, I don't care about someone playing music. I care about someone. I'm looking for a bar that. Okay, look. Let me just level with you. I'm going to try to arrange services where I play throughout the day. I play throughout the day, and essentially for that get free room.
You're looking for a bar that needs a bard.
Yes, a bar. Well, a bar that either needs a bard or has a shittier bard that I can essentially push out.
Okay, you find one of those easy. It doesn't take you that long. You pass a couple. You see a couple bards that you think you can beat, but you think it'd be a battle, and you're not looking for that right now.
Yeah, I'm a bit lazy right now.
Yeah. But you find one. It's not a bad establishment. It's made out of a nice dark wood. The doors are pretty nice. They seem to be inlaid with silver. There's not a doorman, but as soon as you duck your head in, you see there is a man standing inside, looking to see if anybody wants to cause trouble. You see a rather terrible bard is in the back corner trying to do his best, but he's generally being ignored. You can see from his tip jar there is like a copper or two in there. Every once in a while you see the bartender look at him and shake his head. You think this would be an easy mark.
Ah, good. I'm going to go up to the bartender. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Do you run nothing right now? Maybe later. Do you run this establishment?
I am the proprietor, not the owner. I make the decisions. The owner basically just collects the check.
Then I have a deal for you. I am a bard from the College of Glamour. Have you met one of us before?
I've met one. He moved up in the world.
Yes, we're quite mobile. Do you know what we can do?
You're particularly good at getting the people to drink.
I am, and idolize and come back. I have a deal for you. I'm here on leave.
I've seen this deal before, but go on.
Yes. Well, let me introduce myself first. I am Simon Valois Capet. And it's going to shine a smile. So my deal for you is this. I'm on leave from the military for about 2 weeks. All I ask...
And goes, yes?
All I ask is for room, board, and room service. And in exchange, I will spend my days playing in here, making people idolize this bar, making people want to come back, bring their friends, continue returning, coming back, bring you business like you've never seen.
Okay, I want a persuasion roll with advantage. Because as you are saying this, you hear in the corner what sounds you already have that already rolled.
Yeah, sorry, I was like, yeah. I know why the first roll is best one.
reason you're getting advantage is because in the corner you're hearing the screechiest voice you think you've ever heard try to be a bard. Well, here's my counteroffer. Room, board, 3 meals a day, max 5 drinks a day. And you tell that screechy voice asshole to get out of here.
Oh, easily. What time is it, Neo?
For you right now, it is. You've been traveling a little bit. You went to the highest end. It took you a little while to get there. It's evening. This is the late dinner service right now.
So I'm going to go up to wherever that bard is, sit next to him.
You see you see a decent stage. There seems to be a variety of instruments in the corner. It's the roof is built to amplify everything you do. Of this little stage created, and as you get closer, it gets a little bit more unbearable, and that's when you notice that most of the tables closest to this guy are empty. The only people in here are further back. There you go.
I'm going to walk up, tap him on the shoulder, and begin playing my lute. And I'm going to do my enthralling performance.
What are you doing? Get out of here! This is my job. What are you? Do you stop him from trying to stop you?
Yes. With my music. With my song.
You just ignore him as he slowly starts to. Hey, that's not okay. Stop.
I can choose up to 4 people with this song. One of them is that other bard.
Keep playing. You have a beautiful voice. You see him actually get up and go sit at one of the closest tables.
So I feel like I've taken up quite a bit of time here from the game. Can we just assume? Yeah, I do this for the 2 weeks. I drink wine and whore my way through groupies and bringing business to the bar.
Yeah. You just for a little bit of housekeeping. You after that first day, once they start to close up, you see the bard still there, and the barkeep looks at you and goes, and essentially motions, well, are you gonna do it?
You know, you have a wonderful voice, but it's not, you don't have great acoustics here. You should try another bar. I'm going to direct him to one of the bar near the bakery I was at, actually, near the music store I was at. Try there. It looked rather nice when I was over there.
Okay.
A bard needs to widen his horizons to learn great music.
All right. Do you do anything to enhance this persuasion attempt?
I mean,
diplomacy. This would be.
He already idolizes me, Neil.
Oh, right. You're right. Damn it. I don't have to make him you roll at all. He just goes, I think you're right. And he says, almost in a mindless stupor, just grabs his gear, which you see is on the side of the stage, and just walks out. And you don't see him again for the 2 weeks.
Also, every now and then for random shows, I'm going to cast Unseen Servant and have an Unseen Servant back me in my songs.
All right.
So backup dancer?
Yeah, playing. I have a flute still with me, so we'll have him play the flute every night too. In some music.
Bryn, you're about here. It's been a week. You think you're going to be able to get to what you know to be the 4th fort for about, but you're going to get at most a day there. So keep that in mind. All right. Is there anything Bryn wants to do with this knowledge?
She's going to continue.
Okay. By the way, as you're traveling, the walls of Bastion don't ever seem to get smaller, but the walls of the 4th fort start to get much, much bigger. You can see them across the landscape. You are You are between, from your perspective, two sets of walls. From where you are right there. All right. Castilia.
Okay.
You had a good meal. You've caught up with your family a bit. You've told them about your adventures. What else are you doing?
I'm going to show the other mark from the other Hydrosaur. Do you happen to know which farm this one came from? And I showed the one that I am not familiar with.
You see your adopted father. He walks up. I'm not familiar with this one. The other one we all know. We normally get our meat from there, but no. Have you tried any of the northern farms?
As soon as I came into town, I said to you first.
Not one I'm familiar with in the area. It might be. God, I gotta look at my notes real quick. There it is. It is the country you. That might not be from a Hearst farm. I hear in the lower lands of the Hammer Ridge, they have a couple of ranchers. And Loth, they have a few too, but I don't think that doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I imagine that the farmers up north would probably have a better idea. Thanks anyway.
Oh, you returning that back?
Yep.
He pulls out a little sack. It's got about 10 gold pieces. Bring home dinner.
Will do.
He hands you the gold and wishes you well.
And I head up to the farm.
All right. It's not a long walk. You're at peace. You're doing pretty well. You get to the farm. It's only about half a day's travel out of town. You're actually more comfortable out. While home is home, you're a druid. You're more comfortable walking outside of civilization some of the time.
Yeah.
And you find it nice to be on the road, even just for a short time. You get to the farm, and it's familiar to you. You've been here before.
Yep. Is there anyone like outside in the fields, or?
You see herd of young hadrosaurs. Don't see anyone tending them right now, but then you look down, you see a barn, and you see someone pop out of the barn with a bunch of hay and then pop back in.
I start heading to the barn.
Okay. Hadrosaurs, especially when they're young, tend to be friendly. They bump up against you. I
pet them as I go by.
They make noise, and with that, you see the person in the barn catch eye and wave you over. Most part, it's you just have a couple of hadrosaur licks to the face, but nothing unpleasant for you. Well, son, what you doing here?
Good day. How are you?
I'm doing good.
The hadrosaurs look good. I'm bringing in like a mark from a hadrosaur that I happened to found north of a bit south of Betasok. And I
traveled that far. Good, son. Yep. Good.
Yep.
I take it you were able to use it for your supper that night.
Meat was quite succulent.
Oh, that's good to hear. Always nice to help a soldier.
Yep.
He can tell you're a soldier. While you've changed to more comfortable, you still have your badge on. By the way, I didn't explain the badges. You have essentially a badge you can keep in your pocket, and you also have pens to symbolize what unit you're with. I apologize. That was you guys all put those on, correct?
Yeah, I was like imagining like a Judge Dredd type badge thing.
Yeah. You have a set of each. Essentially, you got handed a wooden plaque. It had on your wallet, essentially your wallet badge, and then it had on your markings for your uniform. Always nice to help a soldier.
Yeah.
I take it you're here for our traditional bounty.
Yep.
Perfectly good. And he calls you over to the house, and he walks over and he opens up a little chest. Here's 1 gold. It's always nice to know we help. And here, and he pulls you into an unusually cool room. You don't know how it's so cool. You suspect some form of magic. And he just, you have a horse, son? You did not bring your horse, for record.
No, I do not.
Oh, then I'll have to give you a little bit less then. Okay. And you see him go into the back room. You're just standing there for a little bit. Son, will you hand me those knives? I want you to do a little perception check for me.
Yep. Dice don't fail me now. Nope.
You see several sets of knives. You don't know which one he's talking about, so I'm going to have you roll a d4 for me.
Wow.
Okay. You pick up pick up a leather wrapped set of knives. They seem to be nice knives. You bring them into the room. As you step in the room, you are blasted by a nice cool chill. It's not ice cold, but it's definitely cooler than anywhere
I got a nippy
else.
breeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
You walk in, you hand him the knives. Well, son, this is not the set I would normally use, but we all need a challenge every once in a while. And he opens up the leather set, and you see these are generally nice looking knives, but they look worn. This is an older set. This is a set that has been worn down. They're not dull, but it's a lot harder to sharpen them. Is that and he starts carving up a really nice roast. And he starts wrapping it up. You're in awe as you're watching this man cut this meat. He's expertly cutting out steaks. He's cutting out roasts. He's just expertly cutting this dinosaur meat. And he reaches over, grabs a little wooden crate, wraps each piece, starts handing it to you. Well, son, normally I'd charge 5 gold for this, but not only did you bring back the thing, you let me know the soldier used it.
Yep.
Take this and take it back with your family. Take it back to your unit.
Will do.
Just keep in mind that we always want to do our best.
Will do. And before
and you have a good 5 years, son.
Thank you. And before I go, I also found this mark on another Hydra store within that area, and I hand him the other one. Do you happen to have any idea where that one is from?
Hell, son, you know we don't like thinking about other ranchers, but for you, okay. No, this is definitely not one from Sears or Dunst. I don't think this is from our area. This might be one of those. And he takes a second, and he sniffs it. You see him pull out one of the dull knives and actually like cut it a little bit. Son, this is tough meat. This is not from down here. This has to be from a hardier land. I think you're looking at you're either looking at Dove, or Soak, or something like that. This is not from our area.
Alrighty then.
I'm not even looking at one of those ranches at Corson. This is definitely not from the area. You can tell. See, and he starts explaining to you. How you can tell from the skin and this that the creature that produced this had to have a heartier diet.
Okay.
He actually goes into a diatribe for a little bit. Do you let him finish?
Yes, I do.
All right. He catches himself after about 5 minutes. Oh, hell, son, I'm sorry. I ramble sometimes, especially when it comes to the quality of the meat.
Quality matters.
I'm sorry. I don't know where this comes from, but it definitely does not come from down here.
Fair enough. I think.
Yep. You tell your parents that it's good to see them. And I know for a fact they probably sent you with some money.
Yep. I hand.
Don't worry about it. Just take
sure?
any. And you see him, quick as a whip, just carve out another roast and put it in the crate. You now have an overstuffed crate. You'll do fine.
Are you sure? I have no problem compensating you for your services.
Well, it's you who keep us safe. We all did our service. We all thankful.
At least let me give you this for like supplies for like the for animal care stuff. And I hand over 7 gold. And surely there's some good food and stuff that
Son, I respect you. I take the gold.
Okay.
And he takes it, and he starts talking here about common stuff, the weather, state of affairs, that sort of thing. Nothing major. As he basically escorts you out and talks to you. Almost tries to talk your ear off again as you start to leave the farm, but you successfully leave. You had a pleasant experience, and you head back home.
Yep. And if only just to avoid having animals try to chase after me. Actually, does that spell work that way? Path Route Trace work that way?
No, Path Route Trace just gives you the
it's just bonus
most direct route.
All right, never mind. Yeah, I have a bunch of spells I just got to prepare.
Well, no, as you're leaving, because of the path as you're leaving, you find that the dinosaurs this time are on the other side of the fence. You specifically said you were going to the barn.
Yep.
That means you went into the fields. That's why they could get to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This time they come up to the fence. They're trying to get attention, but for the most part, you just walk by. You pat a couple on the nose. But other than that, fine.
Yep.
All right, and you head back home.
Yep, I head back.
Anything else special before I head over to Simone or Brant?
Unless anything happens on the way back from the barn to the family house, not much.
Okay. Brant, you've traveled a bit longer. You're getting up on the deadline, but you're also getting very close to the wall. Do you head for the fort or do you head for one of the towers?
I'm gonna head for the fort.
Okay. You get close to the fort. You find out this wall is at least 100 feet high. This is a very tall fort. The most striking thing to you is the towers are far above it.
Deplorator said YouTube.com.
Go to the fort. You're stopped at the gate. Hold. What business you have here?
I just came to come look at the wall.
What unit with you with, son?
Mobile Infantry 54th.
54th? I thought we only had 50 of those. New recruits. Well, congratulations. If you want to see how the wall works, well, as you see from each tower, each one's assigned a color. If there's ever an incursion, that color smoke is sent off from the tower, which disseminates to the other towers. This is all stuff you should have learned in class, son. But for the most part, each one of these forts houses about 1,000 men any given time. You can come in, you can look around. I recommend you keep that badge pinned on you. And no one will bother you for the most part. Don't get into any funny business. And he lets you in.
Okay. I'm just gonna explore around.
It's gonna be about half a day to go from the gate to the most northern end of the fourth fort. But you can do it. You're only gonna have a couple of hours there to watch things around. It was a long trek from Bastion to this fort, but you're finally here. You have a sense of accomplishment. You were determined to do this, and you've done it.
I mean, she's looking at the masonry and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not masonry. This is for the most part huge chunks of solid marble. It takes you a good 50 feet for you to get to a seam, and then it is nearly airtight. These forts were built to last forever, really. Do you put your hand on one of the stones?
Yeah.
You touch the stone and you feel a warm glow. You don't fully understand it, but you suspect. Give me a general knowledge check. Just knowledge plus your proficiency.
Okay. 17.
That's pretty good. You suspect there's some form of enchantment on these walls to make them sturdier than they should be.
Mm. She's gonna look out beyond the wall as well.
You find a staircase leading up to the edge of the walls, and you see the overlook. And give me a perception check.
Perception, you say?
Yes. You are looking into open fields. You see over the walls. It's nothing but ruins, dead trees for the most part. You see a good mile, 2 miles off, clear sky, but you don't. You see movement every once in a while, something small and green. You see a couple of trolls run by. You see one troll actually start running towards the wall, and it is instantly brought down as you see from your fortress several ballista open up and just pedal it with bolts. Before it even gets within a mile, it seems to be dead. Above, you look at the towers, and they tower above you. They seem to be made in a similar fashion. Just from what you can see. You it doesn't take much, but you realize that this wall was made to never be broken if possible. This was made and reinforced for a very long time. You don't see signs, at least at the fourth fort. You don't see signs of any hasty repairs. You don't see signs of any real damage. What were you looking for when you looked over?
Just general perspective of what they can see beyond it.
Oh, it's open fields, burnt open fields. You suspect either through several battles or on purpose, the dead wood for quite some while was burned to essentially give an open view. About a few miles in, that's when you start seeing ruins. You start seeing a bunch of dead trees. That land seems to be hardier. You don't really see a lot of wildlife. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Does anybody else want to do something before we move on?
I can't really think of anything else that I need to do. Let's see, got the money, got the met up with family. That's about all I can think of.
Is there anything specific besides what you were looking for in Vers?
Nope, I'm drunk and face down in a woman.
All right. Well, 2 weeks go by for each of you in your various states. Um, you're wishing, Kiri. You're wishing your family off, telling them that you look forward to seeing them again.
Yep.
You're getting well sent off as you see your lights start to glow.
Mm-hmm. And I stop moving and get ready for the inevitable move.
All right. As you stop moving, you teleport. Brent, would you still be using every last moment to look over everything?
Yep.
Right.
Every little thing.
You've been tirelessly watching, looking for weaknesses for some reason. You can't really find any, and as you walk around, you see your back of your hand glow a little bit. You run away this time?
Nah.
Right? And you feel a familiar, gentle pulling at the back of your neck as you're lifted up. Simone, you're dead drunk when you're dead to the world when yours calls. Fortunately for you, anything you were carrying also tends to get teleported with you.
Question is he naked or not?
Does it dress me?
He is butt fucking naked. He is face down, butt naked, as he's in a woman as he feels a gentle tug at his neck.
Oh, this is gonna be weird.
And you are lifted out of this woman, and you are teleported away.
It's come. It's the rapture. I knew I was chosen. Goodbye.
And you all appear together in a familiar teleportation building in Pune. Castile and Brant, you see your companion, Simone, face down, butt naked, drooling, and smelling of booze.
I look to Bryn and suggest we maybe carry him and maybe put something on him.
The question.
No.
If it teleports all my stuff back, does all my shit just drop on top of me?
Yes.
Actually, that's the thing. As you see him, he's butt naked, and then suddenly you can't help but notice as what looks to be a very nice new loot.
Is the loot broken?
Several sets of clothing, his backpack, his weapons.
The naked woman.
No, the woman did not get teleported with him. All of it kind of teleports right next to him, but unfortunately, since he had everything just strewn around his room, some of it teleports on him.
Is
and as do you even you feel the cold
I'm gonna reach up. Those my pants? They feel like my pants.
That's the loot.
Well, no, what happens is you reach up and you pull on Bren's pants.
Those are my pants. I'm gonna grab them.
You try to yank Bren's pants off. Bren, what do you do?
Brent just looks at him. Seaman, this is not the time and place. You can grovel at my feet later.
Flux, you do not successfully yank his pants off. But as you're lifting, your very nice loot falls into your hands. Fortunately, not smashing onto the hard wood.
Oh shit! It's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
I take my blanket out and put it on top of him.
If you just want to leave the room, it's nice and dark in here. If you just want to leave the room, I'll be with you momentarily.
It takes 2 weeks by foot to get from Bastion to the wall.
No, I was factoring in you were moving at monk speed. You were alone. Normally, travel is based on the slowest person. You are a monk. We're moving at monk speed with good time. Normally that trip takes much longer. For the record.
I mean, it's technically for Bryn's records for herself solo.
Oh, for your okay. That's fine. If you were alone,
now she just needs to learn a monk punch that lets her shatter the wall. She just needs to learn the Viserion punch. And then she punches the wall, and it summons an army of White Walkers to melt it, and a dragon, along with the chains to pull said dragon out of a lake.
You know, at least you didn't say an Attack on Titan reference. Like,
well, I only reference good things.
I don't know if that's
correct. Which is
correct
why
after
I will never
season.
reference Attack on Titan. And anybody that says otherwise, fucking fight me.
All right.
If you're not going to leave, then I'll enjoy the show. As Simone's going to get up.
I mean,
and start
I've seen you
dressed.
naked before, Simone.
Fully erect.
I'm gonna need a con check for you to try to get up and not immediately fall drunk back.
There we go.
Yeah, you succeed. You're shaky as you start to get up, but you successfully managed to stand up with your loot in hand as you try to find your pants. And why did you roll it?
I was checking something. I found out I actually get my proficiency in my initiative. I didn't realize that, and I was trying to figure out if it actually put that in.
You successfully start getting dressed. Well, you guys are in the room. You know where to report to. What's going to happen?
Yep. I head over.
Now I run.
I grab my blanket back and put it back.
You may want to watch that. I got teleported while doing some actions.
Yeah, we saw. You were still thrusting when you first landed.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I mean, you guys just lucky I didn't decide Simone ejaculates while he gets when he teleports in.
That's pretty much what I was picturing was going to happen.
Just get in.
See, I would have preferred it like the woman teleported and landed on top of him, which would have been just like.
All right. Do you two leave Simone to get dressed, or you just wait for him?
I
stand there watching.
I step out with a blush.
I watch and I catcall him, and I treat him like a piece of meat that he is.
All right. Well, while Bryn does that, Castile walks outside. It's a nice morning. It's nice breeze coming in. You don't see any cadets around or anything. It's
quiet.
Pleasant. Yeah, quiet and pleasant right now.
That drill instructor's ready to blow up on somebody, probably.
Simone, you've gotten dressed by now. And you've collected your things. What are you doing?
I'm going out.
Right.
Shielding my eyes to the sun as I go.
You try to shield your eyes, but a couple of rays get through, and you almost have an instant headache, but you shrug it off. This isn't your first bender. This won't be your last bender.
Go on, Twinkle Toes. Let's move.
Yep.
All right. And you head to the administration office.
Yep.
Good, you're here. All right. Well, and he pulls out 3 sacks. Here's your next pay. This job's gonna be a doozy. And I'm sorry to say, you're gonna be heading to where one of you didn't want to go.
The flotilla.
We have requests by, and Kiri, your ears perk up at this because you owe this person your life. As a reminder, when we did your backstory.
Yep.
This person saved you and actually didn't save you. Saved your not your adopted parents. Why did I keep doing your parents? were alive. Those were your actual parents and adopted. I was thinking of something else. This woman successfully saved your parents, which allowed you to be born. Your parents think the world of her.
Mhm.
We have a request from Crystalline, one of the Loth Council members up by the flotilla. Apparently, there's some trouble up there. They need some problem solvers. Besides that, we kind of have another request, but she has the details, so I'm going to leave it up to her
All right.
if you are the people for the job.
Alrighty. Anything that we know will be passed on by her, I assume.
Yes, it is normally when a council member makes a request, we send them who we can.
Alrighty.
You have your standard horses out by the stables. You can pick up gear packs if you want. Otherwise, you're free to do as you wish.
Yep.
Make sure you get the job done.
Alrighty.
With that, he hands you each your 100 gold. This is your pay for next little while, and waits for you to leave his office.
I start heading out of the office, but I'm going to be standing a bit behind Simone, like just in case like he kind of tumbles back a little.
I'm good now.
Okay.
All right. I pass him my water skin.
Right. You guys are in Pune. You more than anyone, Castile, know this route. You have been dreaming of taking a route up to the flotilla and speaking with Gwendolyn, as you know that the flotilla is her pet project for quite some time now.
Yep.
From where you are, the best route would be to cross one bridge and then go just straight up from there. And then cross what has become known as Bridgetown until you get into essentially the land where the flotilla is.
Yep. I inform everybody about that rope.
For the record, that would be whoop, 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 and then across.
Yep.
Just for visual record.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I fucking get rid of it?
You highlight that and delete it.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to highlight it. It's not letting me highlight it. I'll figure it out. That's the route. Oh wow, I don't need to be moving the map.
Oops.
But there you go.
Okay.
But you don't have to do that route if you don't want to. But that would be the most efficient route.
That's the most efficient route, so that's the route we're going to go.
All right.
I propose the most efficient route.
Ooh, I could just.
Does anyone have any objection?
I can clear everyone else's drawings, but I can't clear my own. The fuck? Weird. I'll figure this out later. Leave that on the screen. Does anyone have objections?
Does anybody?
I have no objections.
Alright, so we're going to go that route.
I mean, we could just also take a boat, I assume.
You could take a boat, but you'd be going upriver, and it would take quite a bit longer to do that.
Probably would also charge a bit. So yeah, I'd say we go up the route.
I'm not making you go this route, by the way. I'm just pointing out the most efficient. You guys,
And she would prefer the most efficient.
Guys, pick what you want. I'm just do this. Oh. All right, you guys. Are you getting anything particular to take with you? Any gear?
Give me a sec. For the most part,
At this
just
point,
be like,
you have a lot more. You have a lot more leeway in what you do and how you do it. You're no longer. You don't know how longer have a visor. You no longer have.
I don't have that actually.
Constraints. For housekeeping. For housekeeping, you no longer have your teleportation crystals.
I just realized I don't have a components pouch. I need to get one of those. I thought I did. So I'm gonna go get myself a spell components pouch, and just a bunch of like 10 gold worth of like various components.
Okay. Anybody else need to get something specific for themselves?
Also, actually, how many rations do I have?
Simone has everything he needs.
Right, Brant, is there anything you need? Any special liquors? Any?
I gotta top off my rations.
Diplo?
Oh.
Diplo, dead again? Do you have to take off for a second?
Let's see. He's still in the Discord.
Alright, well, we're gonna assume Diplo went with you.
Yep. And I'm just also gonna just top off on my rations. So.
Diplo, are here, dude? Seriously. I'm gonna take that as a no. You must have gotten up to use the restroom or something. You guys find, for the most part, you find the rations, you pay the standard price, you can get to your horses if you want to take horses. You guys going on foot? Horse? What?
We'll go on horse.
Okay.
Alright.
You have a couple options. You can take individual horses, or you can get 2 horses and a cart. What do you guys want to do?
2 horses and a cart would sound nice. Simone, do you have an objection to 2 horses and a cart?
2 horses and a cart sounds wonderful. I don't want to ride a horse.
Alrighty. 2 horses and a cart.
You go up. You ask for 2 horses that you can pull a nice cart. You get a pretty nice oak cart. It's solid. It's sturdy. Simone, would you like to get padding for the cart a bit?
I want a nice, comfortable cart.
All right. He said he upsells you a little bit. Simone seems more than eager to do so, and he finds a nice cart that has a nice padded section in it. He also seems to give you some nice blankets as well. You go to the general store, you get some nice blankets to add to the padding, a couple pillows. You end up having a decent shag wagon sort of deal.
Yep.
It sets the group back 75 gold total.
Each
so
or total?
Who's paying what?
I imagine like the most expensive part was probably the horse and the cart, so I could easily chip in 50 for that.
Okay. Does Simone pitch in 25 for all the padding?
Sounds like Bryn wanted to pitch in the rest. we should have Bryn pitch in the rest. Yeah, Simone will pitch in 25.
I'll split it between you two. You
No,
pitch
I
in.
got it. I got it.
25. All right. You get a nice cart with some padding. You have a nice canvas canvas cover for it. It's
waterproof.
It's not a dome. It goes up to, it's kind of like a traditional house. It goes up straight and then it goes to a point. This will keep you nice, dry, and comfortable if you sleep in the cart.
Excellent. We got ourselves an RV. Excellent.
A medieval RV, yes. And you guys, if no one has anything else to do,
I speak now, forever hold your peace. I got my stuff.
I want the padding to be velvet. If it's a shag wagon, I want red velvet.
all right. When you go to the general store to get some extra padding, they say we don't do velvet, but they point you down the road to a posterer, and you pull the cart up, and you're like, I want red velvet, and the posterer goes, okay, and starts get to work, and you have red velvet padding in your wagon,
Yes.
in your cart.
This is also a car made out of wood paneling, but it's not. But I want this to be a cart that Austin Powers would drive around in.
Yes.
Diplo, you here? Just saw you light up. Diplo. God damn it, dude. Well, you guys start to head out. For the most part, you are taking you go across the same bridge you did before. I'm gonna move it. You take a little time. Standard hunting at night,
Yep.
or are you guys eating rations?
As long as the area looks fertile enough, I will do some hunting.
All right, you guys, you hunt, you take food, you have a decent meals. You travel for a little while. Would any conversations want to be had during this?
So, Simone, have you ever been up towards the flotilla?
Yes. I have quite a few family members up there.
Yeah.
My great grandmother was Jessica Capet, the hero of the flotilla. So I've been there quite a few times.
Ah. Yep. Gwendolyn, she actually kind of saved my parents' lives back in the day. So I actually can't wait to kind of meet her. At least my family would love to pay respects to her, but I'll do that for them.
How did she save their lives?
Okay. We'll speak up a pick. When the last incursion happened some 45 years ago, Gwendolyn was led some forces from Bastion. She led them, was too late to save last fall, but essentially drove the goblin horde that had made it through towards the flotilla. She did so because she had sent your ancestor, since we're establishing that, to establish the flotilla as a fortress before. So essentially, the goblins got driven into a what amounted to a pincer attack and finished off the horde, allowing them to since they had already blocked off First and Red, they were able to prevent the incursion from getting any further than the flotilla last fall and the ruins that are up there. Kiri's family is from this ruin. While Gwendolyn, while they were fleeing, Gwendolyn allowed her family, essentially to shelter either with the army till they could be sent further south. She saved many lives that day. That is a very loose summary of the Battle of Last Fall and the last incursion.
Yep. And I relay that to Simone.
Think you have a lot to be thankful for.
Very much so.
Bren,
what about you, Bryn?
If Diplo was here, Bren picks up at the idea that, wait, the wall was breached? Diplo? What is going on with him? Something major must have happened. He just took off.
Yeah. I know for a fact he's trying to save money to get a new computer. And...
No, he's still here. Everything's still here. He would have dropped instantly from Discord if that had happened. Well,
His family's been kind of personal
you
stuff with
guys get up till you come here. You see a little village. Go into town. Simone, do you go into the tavern and try to do your thing for a bit?
No, I'm pretty spent for maybe a few days.
All right.
Okay.
It's been several days now. Didn't travel, by the way.
I gotta build that back up. New being.
It's been about a week. You pass through town. You sleep in a bed. You get a good meal, and then you move on. Whoops. You continue traveling for a couple of more weeks, and you get to the border of the two countries. For most of you, this is the first time in a long time you've stepped foot in what most people consider to be the country built for war. This is the front line for the country.
Mm-hmm.
That nipple just dropped.
Yeah. Huh?
Oh, never mind. I'm being an idiot. And you essentially get to here before.
Quick question. Like this thing. This is like ruins or stuff, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Pass by them. You don't see anything about you. You don't really see anything. You didn't really make it a priority to take a side trip to there.
Yeah. I was just curious.
And you come into a very small, sleepy village. As you're traveling, I'm going to put Bryn on the road. I'm going to get a cart image for you guys.
Okay.
But for now, it's just guys come into town. There you go.
All right, there we are. Over here. Okay.
You pass by a couple of houses for the most part, and then you find the inn. It's evening. Right? Pretty late evening. And you for the most part, you guys want to try and stop in at the inn?
Sure. And heads up, I can't actually select my token.
Weird. I think it's because I put it down. Put yourself down, and then can you select yours, Flux?
No.
Okay. Put yourself down then. Weird. I'm gonna have to check that again. Edit. You know, he has control of it, so he should be able to do anything. All right, you guys heading. Oh, I am on the map. Bad. You guys heading to town. You find some. It's a very sleepy village. It doesn't seem to have a lot of commerce. It's along one of the main roads, and you head to the inn, which you find for the record.
Here, okay. Alright, before we're entering in, does it sound like any bar fights are happening, or is this just like standard tavern noises?
Oh, I see what happened. Exactly. Once. I see exactly what I did. I was on map and background, so when I brought everyone onto the thing,
They were part of the background.
yeah, so you guys couldn't move them. You guys don't have access. There it goes. No, it's don't really hear much of anything.
There are lights on?
Oh yeah, no, they're open. You
Okay.
can tell they're open. But there's not a lot of bustle.
Okay. I open the door
Okay.
and step on in.
You should, if everything worked correctly, be
Yep.
able to see the end.
We do.
Shit, the roof moved. Get out!
Oh
It's
god!
essentially the end.
Oh god, run!
It's a mimic.
Oh god, it's a tavern mimic! It traps dwarves. It's the ultimate dwarf trap.
We need to leave this city.
This city is cursed by God and man. Run.
I was proud of that. Fuck yeah.
Let's be honest. A tavern mimic would be the perfect trap for dwarves. Okay. In all seriousness, I step inside. Okay. Perspective.
You find it mostly empty. It appears like anybody.
Actually, the entrance was here. Ding.
Actually, that's the. Is it? Yeah, no, that's an entrance. There are two entrances. This is a patio area you could go in if you wanted to.
I didn't see like any other door because I thought this area here was like a second floor.
Right here is a door. Oh, it might be a second floor. There is an actual second floor with beds and things I could have put on this map, but I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm underneath this this awning here thing.
No, you go in where you went in. You walk in, you see a woman cleaning an older woman cleaning tables. The fuck? What's wrong thing? There it is. I forgot I had to change them all to GM layer because otherwise you would have people floating through the roof at the time. You see an older woman, she's cleaning tables.
Look at them. They all have like paper cutouts. We need to leave this city right now. It's not safe.
Don't you complain about the tokens I've found. They were cool.
I don't trust this whole town.
You see an older woman cleaning the table. You see a bartender. And you see a single patron sitting in the corner drinking.
Is he sitting in the dark corner?
Yes, he is sitting in as far away from anyone he possibly could. You hear the bartender go, "Hail, travelers!"
Hail.
Thank you.
And
This is sketchy.
Up to here.
Okay. What have you?
All right. I'll have some. What kind of meats you have?
Well, we typically get boar. Besides that, whatever we can catch.
All right, I'll have some boar and a tankard of ale.
Okay. That'll be silver.
I plop the silver down.
Okay. You go, and I'm going to control you for a second. You go sit at a table.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what Bren's doing because Diplo's still not talking. I hope he's okay, but we're going to assume he gets the same as Carrie and sits down. What is Simone doing?
I guess I'll sit down.
You're not going to order anything first?
Nah.
Hoomfs. All right, well.
I have for Simone a sip of my ale.
No, thank you.
You have it's a decent meal. It's nothing too fancy, but it's nothing bad. And the waitress comes over. Hi lads, any refills?
If my tankard is empty, then I'll push it forward.
Okay. What you in town for?
We're passing by, actually, on our way to the flotilla.
Ah, yes. Well, this is a good place to rest in. We don't have much. Besides a general store across the way and our tavern and inn, there's really not much business. Mainly just retirees trying to live the peaceful days. I'll get that filled up. And she
Thank you.
goes over there. Right?
So, as you
go ahead and talk.
Okay. I'm gonna okay. What would be like a okay? I want to try and maybe
Insight check if you're trying to see deception or something.
Mostly I'm just trying to maybe get a gauge on the guy in the corner.
A general vibe insight check.
All right. Ooh.
He's drinking. He just wants to be left alone for the most part. But since you did such a high insight check, give me a perception check.
Okay. Damn it.
He glanced you from at least from you see he's glanced at you once, but that's about it. He went back to his drink.
Okay.
Not really watching you or anything, as far as you can tell.
All right. Does he have like any like bow or weapons, or is it just like a guy in a?
Nope.
Okay.
He's
just a guy.
He is dressed. He is mostly in a cloak, bundled up, and he is drinking an ale.
Okay. So I continue to enjoy my meal.
Well, she comes back. She gives you ale, and she asks if you. She notices one of your badges and asks, "Are you guys going to meet up with the people at the watchtower up the way? You're the new shift."
Actually, we're part of the mobile division.
Well, it wouldn't hurt. They've been complaining up there for some reason. They don't tell us anything. I want to go check on them.
Okay.
And she
give a check.
She tells you of a small little watchtower down the road.
Alrighty.
But other than that, she wishes you well. She tells you we have rooms if you need one. It'll be 5 copper a person a night. But other than that,
I guess I feel like it's just resting for the night before heading out.
I think this is where we're gonna leave it off. You guys
I'll plop down 5 copper.
Partly because it's almost 11, partly because we haven't heard Diplo in like 30 minutes. That's where we're gonna end off this time, and I've got plenty to do more sessions if you guys want to.
Okay.
How you feel of it, that Flux?
Okay.
It's so subdued. It's weird.
It's 11 o'clock, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Fair enough.
Oh. Did you like the house coming alive and eating you whole?
I didn't trust it.
What?
I didn't trust it.